I'm gonna wait for some people to come in. If you are just coming in, welcome. I hope you had a great day. I hope you're doing good. And yeah, if you know what the title of this stream is, we're gonna be writing a Blade movie. And yeah, so that's gonna be the whole mission of this live stream. We're gonna pitch our ideas together. I got my lap. I got my laptop right here in my lap, literally in my lap, and we're gonna literally do a Blade movie. We're gonna write our ideas, we're gonna pitch ideas, come up with a script, and we're just gonna have some fun with this. We're just gonna go crazy with this and just see where it goes because you never know. And I know people are like me waiting for the Blade movie and waiting to see what is going to happen. But until that time, all we can do is just imagine and envision in our heads what a Blade movie will look like for us. It may seem like a difficult task, but it's really not a difficult task to do a Blade movie. I don't think it's a difficult task to do any movie or anything that you're interested in. When you have the dedication, it speaks for itself. So for all the people out there who are trying to, wanting this movie to get canceled, wanting to prey on this movie's downfall, I have some unfortunate news. I just don't think this is going to happen. I just don't see it happening. And if it is, it's going to be a big disappointment to a lot of fans who want to see this character back on screen. We haven't seen this character since Wesley Snipes. So, I mean, we've seen him in some animated, series here and there, but seeing him on the big screen, people want to see that again. Well, technically, we had that with Deadpool and Wolverine with Wesley Snipes coming back, but you get the point. People want to see an original Blade. So again, this is going to be the point of the stream. Let me know if you guys are in. I don't think anyone's in, so I'll wait a little bit just to see if maybe someone pops in. But if not, I'm just gonna go off of the history of Blade, pretty much what we know. Like this movie was announced back in 2019. Mahershala Ali was cast to play Blade, and ever since then, it's just been in production limbo. So we honestly don't know if the movie's still going to come out next year. I mean, there's a possibility that it might, but we honestly just do not know. See Caden. What's up, Caden? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. We're going to be pitching a Blade movie. So if you are down to give some ideas about what you would like to see in a Blade movie, let me know. I have my laptop here. We're gonna do the thing. I have a name for this segment. This is gonna be something that I'm going to do at least once a month with some Marvel shows, maybe some DC stuff as well if you guys want to see that. And it's gonna be titled "We Got the Script." So basically, "We Got the Script" is again every month once a month we're going to do a live stream where we pretty much pitch all of our ideas about a Marvel movie or a Marvel TV show or a project or anything of the matter that we would like to see. I kind of want to extend this to some animation stuff as well, so this is going to be a mixed bag of a tons of other things to expect. So I'm not going to be doing just Marvel and DC. I'm gonna try to do some animation stuff in there as well, and just kind of keep it fresh. So just be on the lookout. Every once a month, this will happen. So yeah, um, so the first one I decided I thought it would be perfect to do Blade because why not, right? Like Blade is such an iconic superhero, an iconic black hero. So I thought, why not? I think it would be perfect. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. What would you guys like to see? Even if you don't know much about Blade, just kind of give your input of what you may know, just a little bit. Cuz every idea matters, I feel like. So we're going to jump into the thing. So I do have some other ideas of some other projects, and we're going to go back and do some other Marvel projects that weren't well received and kind of rewrite those and see like what would our envision of that particular project, what would that have been, like She-Hulk for example. I definitely want to do one for She-Hulk because I do feel like that's a show that could have had some potential, but the potential was used in a completely incorrect way in my opinion. So I think it would be cool to rewrite She-Hulk. What would that show have been like in our eyes? So yeah. um, So one of the ideas I had for a Blade movie is kind of like starting out at the beginning. Something cool about the Wesley Snipes Blade movie at the beginning is the iconic party scene, with all the blood dripping down everybody at the party, right? So I thought about doing something similar in this one, but maybe kind of similar in the way that the Batman started out its introduction. Maybe we get like narration from Blade about his history, about why he is the way he is, what is his motive, what makes him want to be a vampire slayer, and things of that nature. Why is he the Daywalker? So that was a bit of an idea, kind of inspiration from the Batman with Robert Pattinson. I thought about doing like a mix between that and the first Blade movie as an introduction to get people hyped up and to show people Blade's prowess that people may not have read the comics or may not know exactly who he is, but just kind of have an idea of what you could expect. Now, as far as what as far as like going further into that, that's kind of something that I'd have to think about because, you know, what we want Blade to be in our eyes, maybe he can be the leader of the Midnight Suns, right? So, how do we build him up to becoming the leader? How do we build him up to being the worthy guy to taking on that position? So that's what this movie is ultimately going to be about. Blade coming into his own, finding his own way, finding his own path, and just understanding why he does certain things, why he feels the way that he feels, and why he has to come to terms that, there's more than just what meets the eye. There's more to this supernatural level of things that we, you know, pictured. And I feel like the MCU is kind of, diving into that sort of realm of the supernatural with Werewolf by Night and Moon Knight and things of that nature. So we're getting towards that kind of thing. I guess you could say Agatha is sort of a part of that too, even though we haven't seen the show yet. So, but it's still kind of that supernatural element in there. So yeah. Let's see. CH Animates. Hey, you make awesome videos. I hope you will achieve all of your dreams. Thank you, CH Animates. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I hope that you're doing good, and I hope that you succeed and achieve all of your dreams as well. Let's see. Caden, you said, did you ever see the Blade TV series back around 2006? Sticky Fingers got to play the role of Blade. I actually have not. I remember seeing commercials of it on Spike TV, but I never got a chance to actually dive in and watch it. So if that's something you want me to maybe dive into and check out, will try to put it on the list. I have so many shows and different things that I'm trying to like watch that I'm trying to catch up on. So I'll definitely put on the list if it's worth checking out. But did you have any ideas from that Blade series that maybe you would like to see potentially in this movie? Because I would definitely like to get your input on that. So I think I said like introduction, like an introduction fight scene. Uh, fight scene similar to Blade one and the Batman. Okay, that's one idea. Let's see. Let's see if you guys have any more ideas. And it could be anything. It could be anything. Just any idea. Because there might be a way to connect the ideas somehow. So I'm I'm with it. Let's see. I think I said something. So what? I'm kind of thinking about the setting of the film. what setting do you guys want to see this film? Do you want this to be like a summer movie? Do you want this to be more in like the fall or autumn? Do you want it in winter? I think fall would definitely work as far as like, the time of when the movie's set to release, apparently, around that November time. So I think that, it would be cool to do it around the fall, maybe Halloween time, somewhere around there. It was a really cool series. It only lasted for one season, but it isn't the MCU's Blade going to be played by another guy. Yes, it is Mahershala Ali, two-time award-winning actor Mahershala Ali. If you've seen Luke Cage, you're familiar to his face. He played Cottonmouth in Luke Cage season one. So shout out to Luke Cage. I'm hearing that Luke Cage is going to be coming back and some of the other Defenders characters. So that would be really cool to see those actors and those characters come back on screen at some point. Fall would be an awesome time for releases since there's not too much competition, which will help you get more attention. All right, so yeah, we want a fall release and and a fall setting. Maybe Halloween. Okay. So what month during the fall do you think would be good? Like October, November, I guess you could count September after the 22nd. I think that's when fall officially begins. I might be wrong about that though. Let's see. Was there something else? I think I said something earlier, but what kind of music? That's something else. Like, what kind of music do you guys see like in the Blade movie? Because obviously we're gonna have the orchestra music. But I could definitely see like some maybe like old school hip hop music maybe in there with maybe like a mix of um, a little mix of rock would be kind of cool. I don't think they've had done besides Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think they've really done characters too much that have like a mix of just hip hop and rock. I think that would be kind of cool. You said fall has started here in Texas. I think November is a great time for any movie to come out, especially during the holidays. Okay, November. So release around November. All right, cool. And then I said something about music. Music could be like a mix of old school old school hip hop and rock. Okay. I know we got 5 people watching. If you have any ideas, don't be shy to share your ideas. All ideas are welcome because this is just a fantasy pitch, but I mean, you never know who may be listening, who may be watching. So you know, I shouldn't have said 5 people because that kind of dropped people a bit away, but that's okay. But yeah, like we got a couple people in. So again, if you have any ideas, definitely drop them. I'm trying to think of anything else because I don't want it to be an origin story. So that's maybe another idea. Do you, yes or no to the people in here? Do you guys want an origin story for Blade? Do you want sort of like a brief, like little him talking about his origin, but not really diving too much into that because maybe if there's another Blade movie, maybe there's a certain villain that we could have that could maybe tie even deeper into his origin. Do you guys want that, or do you guys want this movie to be like a full-on origin story? Personally, I mean, origin story would be fine, but I would just like to have Blade kind of like he's been around for a while. He's been doing this for a little bit, so you know I guess you could say like maybe he's like 2 to 3 weeks into being Blade. I think that would be cool. Like 2 to 3 weeks, kind of like with the Batman, like they did was that was like year one, Batman year one. So maybe they could do something similar with Blade. So maybe, yeah, just let me know. I'd probably like to hear some classical, maybe Pindarice for the action scenes, and a lot of popular music in the background. Could be like Black Thought or cool, even guitar solos. Like, okay, so let's see. You said classical music. I think you said some like Black Thought. So Black Thought would be that would be cool. Guitar, so some kind of guitar solos somewhere in the rock section. So some kind of um, rock rock hits, I guess we could say. But yeah, I'm gonna rate for me like Blade is going to be um, maybe like a few weeks into being Blade, or maybe at least a year. But yeah, let me know if you guys want a bit of an origin, like an introduction. I think a small introduction to Blade, because not everybody knows the history of Blade, how he became the character. His mom, I think, if I remember correctly, his mom dated a vampire of some sorts, and when she died, because when they had a she had a baby with the vampire guy. I can't remember his name, but when his mother died when she gave birth to him, the his vampire genes actually showed through Blade because again, like he was birthed by his mother was a human and his dad was a vampire, so that's how he's got his vampire abilities. So maybe there could be like a fight scene where he shows his vampire teeth, and he kind of explains like, well, the reason why I have vampire teeth is because of this reason, because my mom was, you know, got down to business with a vampire, and boom, there we go, like something like that. So shows. Let's see. You guys have anything else? Shows vampire teeth and explains his origin through the fight. So we obviously know Blade is going to be like a R-rated movie because we're gonna see a lot of the slicing and gore and the things of that nature that you'll see with the vampire slaying movie. So it's really nothing new. So it's gonna be rated R. Um, we're gonna have the violence and gore and things of that nature. Probably some dark, dark themes and elements in there too. Obviously, some like supernatural stuff too. So supernatural. Okay, cool. So we got that. So far, I'll kind of go down the list of some things that we have, some things that you guys suggested, some things that I suggested. So first off, we have like an introductory fight scene similar to Blade, the first Blade movie, Wesley Snipes and the Batman. Then we have like a fall release, and the setting taking place in the fall, maybe somewhere around Halloween. Maybe the movie can release around November, like you said, Caden. I think that would be a really good time. Then we have music. We have music which is kind of like a mix of old school hip hop, rock. We got some classical music in there too. Um, You have some classical music in there too. We got Black Thought. We got guitar solos, things of that nature. Um, ESP. Good morning. Thank you for your email. I've not any of my work to get a better deal on this one. It's a very big issue for us, and we're keen to help us with our next steps to complete. What are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I've never given anyone my email. So what are you talking about? Anyway, going back to it, a few weeks. So the idea is to maybe have Blade be a few weeks into the game. If not, then maybe close to at least a year of being Blade. Then we have like the show. There's a scene in the fight scene where he's going to show his vampire teeth and explain his origin through that scenario, how he got his teeth and things of that nature. And obviously, the movie is going to be rated R. We're going to have violence, gore, dark themes and elements, and supernatural elements in there too. Because again, this is Blade we're talking about. Um, but like, How would you guys set up Blade as a leader? Like, how would you get from point A to point B with the Midnight Suns? Because again, like that's what they're gonna lead this up to, and I feel like in order to get Blade, because I know they want to get Blade right, and that's why there's been so many people dropping in and out of the movie because they want to try to get this movie right. Because if not, we might have another situation where an idea they have ideas and then it doesn't fall through and then they kind of exit out of it. I don't want that to be the case because again, Blade is a character that people have wanted to see, I've wanted to see, and really want to see the Midnight Suns. I really want to see the Midnight Suns. They're a team up that I want to see. I obviously want to see Alpha Flight when we get the X-Men. I'm sure there's been discussions about Alpha Flight, so I'm sure we'll get that too. But then that might be another, if you guys want an Alpha Flight MCU movie idea we could do. Maybe we could do some things with Alpha Flight if you guys want that. Maybe some other potential X-Men teams if you guys want that. Like this series could go on. So yeah, but ultimately, because we know we have Elsa Bloodstone, we have Werewolf by Night, we have Man Thing, we have Moon Knight, we have Punisher. Well, not yet officially, but we know Punisher's coming in Daredevil Born Again, so we have him. Doctor Strange, it's still kind of a limbo state if Doctor Strange is going to be a part of the Midnight Suns team. I hope he is personally, because I think Doctor Strange would be a good addition to that team. I've heard a lot of people saying that Agatha Harkness should be a part of the team. I think that would be an interesting setup. So we'll have to see. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that, you know, what characters would you like to see maybe have hints or mentions of that we've kind of already seen throughout? Let's see. What Caden you said. What if a Blade movie starts out with visions of vampires as a person, and different clips could give info about the different sects of vamps, and that Blade as well as Dracula were snapped away. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I'm gonna write that down. So Blade movie starts with visions of vampires and different scenes about the different sects of vampires. Dracula. So, do you want Dracula to be the main villain in that, or do you want to build up to that? You want to build up to Dracula further down into the story, like maybe another movie, or maybe he could be a big Midnight Suns villain. What do you guys feel about that? Dracula, Midnight Suns, Midnight Son's big bad, maybe. Okay. Let's see. And then you said there was 5 years of vamps increasing the numbers and fighting for control. Okay, vampires fighting for control. Control. Have been hiding. You know what? That actually makes sense. Have been. You know what? That actually makes sense because with the blip, with the blip with Thanos, that could still play into the fact of the vampires they've been hiding for 5 years because maybe they've been here. They were on the planet while half the universe was blipped away. So that actually could be an interesting twist because if they wanted to, they could probably tell like maybe do a Disney Plus series about like the vampires and what they were doing for the 5 years for the remainder of the 5 years during the blip. I think that would be a really interesting show. Maybe there were another hero out there that was maybe trying to fight the vampires, but maybe sadly perished or something. So that could be interesting for 5 years potentially after the blip happened. Okay. Sorry if I'm taking too long. Let's see. I'm going down to your comments. So Blade gets back as well as Dracula. Okay. Let's see. I think what country are you from? I'm trying to see, and I am on the other half term of the family, are all over a family for me. I'll be home for my birthday and a half an hour break from the weekend. I will not been thinking. Okay. Well, welcome. It's your birthday, I'm guessing. Is your birthday today? ESP. Let's see, Riding Blade. I know the feeling. Yeah. Yeah, we're riding Blade right now. We got a couple ideas, so Kimberly, if you have any ideas, definitely drop them. I would love to hear your ideas. Kimberly, I feel like you're very knowledgeable with a lot of things, so definitely give me some ideas. I could read some of the ideas we have so far that we've come up with, just in case if there are others who maybe just joined the stream or you just kind of want an idea of some things we have. So first off, we got an introductory fight, starting out with Blade. Potentially, maybe that's one alternate scene, kind of similar to the OG Blade and sort of like a the Batman esque kind of thing. Then we have like a release for the film, which is going to be like a fall release pictured in our heads. Fall setting, maybe Halloween. Release maybe around November, around that time. Then the music we have like a mix. We have like a mixed bag of like hip hop, old school hip hop, some regular hip hop in between, like Black Thought, some rock, maybe some guitar solos in between the fights, as well as some classical music. Then I had the idea, which we had some ideas, if this should be an origin story. Should this be Blade, a couple weeks out, or could this be at least a year of, you know, him being Blade and kind of taken into his own? So that's something that we're kind of a timeline. Then we obviously the movie's going to be rated R due to violence, gore, dark themes and elements, and the supernatural. All the good stuff. Then Caden had the idea, which Caden has some other ideas, but Caden had the idea of an alternate beginning of the movie where we have like where the movie starts out with visions of vampires and maybe different scenes about the different sex of vampires. Maybe we get Dracula. Not sure if Dracula will be the villain of this film or maybe he could be a Midnight Sun's big bad if they want to build him up to be. So that's kind of an idea. Obviously, another idea he had is vampires are going to be fighting for control. Maybe they've been hiding possibly for 5 years, which kind of would tie into the blip. That would be something that a lot of people didn't expect. Because again, we don't really know what all happened during the blip. All we know is that half of the universe was wiped away. We don't really know what took place. So I think that would be a really cool way to kind of tie into that a little bit more and add more substance to that. I also thought about the idea of maybe like a vampires Disney Plus show that maybe they could do, kind of like what they're doing with Marvel Zombies. Maybe do Marvel Vampires if that's a thing. I think that would be really cool. Little Disney Plus series to kind of give people more, kind of more of a setting with the supernatural and just kind of the MCU as a whole. Let's see. I know that yeah. What's up, King Flame? How you doing? Let's see. What are your thoughts on DirecTV blackout Disney Network? I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why they did. I would imagine it had something to do with the licensing, or maybe they couldn't come to a deal, and that's probably why the channel is probably getting removed from DirecTV. But as far as like the full reasoning why, I don't really know. Let's see, Marvel Vampires. Cool. All right. So if Marvel was to say, let's do a Marvel Vampires Disney Plus series, would you guys want it to be animated, or would you guys want it to be a live action uh would you guys want it to be a live action show? Why is DirecTV removing Disney Network channel? I don't know. I don't know, King Flame. I'm sure that's a very weird situation for a lot of people. I honestly don't know because I don't have cable, so I couldn't tell you. But if I, maybe read up on it, maybe I could check out the reasoning as to why. I'll just say animated or live action question mark, and we'll come back to that. Yes, I did. I did watch some. I think the first episode I watched of the Total Drama Island. It would be cool to see an animated version. Okay, so Marvel Zombies. You hear that? Marvel Vampires animated animated series. Now the next question I'm going to ask you: would you like to see a crossover with Marvel Zombies, or do you guys think that would be too much? Because I think a crossover would be kind of cool with Marvel Zombies. Which that show is supposed to come out next year. I've been hearing this only like 4 episodes, which I thought was a little bit of a bummer. Not only that one is 4 episodes, the Eyes of Wakanda series is 4 episodes too. So I thought that was really weird. You would have thought Marvel Zombies would have been at least 10 episodes, like What If and X-Men '97. And I know Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I know that's like 10 episodes too, from what I've been hearing. So speaking of that, I will be doing a Spider-Man stream, maybe sometime this weekend, if not next week. Next week I might be a little busy because next Wednesday that's gonna be my birthday, so I'm gonna be celebrating and some things of that nature. So we'll have to see. I'll work out a schedule. It might be this Saturday. I might do a Spider-Man stream of that nature. let's see. The Blade anime was interesting. It also ran for a season. You see, I didn't even know that Blade had an anime. I didn't even know that. Now I knew X Men had an anime. That was like around the same time as like the X Men '90s animated series, and I've been wanting to watch the X Men anime, but I haven't gotten around to. So again, another thing on my list. So I'll definitely check out the Blade anime series. Um, if you want maybe like a review or something about that. To me, as a one off, a period piece in the 70s for Blade hunting down Dracula. Okay, 70s, a 70s period piece. That's definitely a new idea I haven't heard before. So, 70s period piece. Shout out to you. Welcome to the stream, Eddie Views. If you have any more ideas, definitely give some ideas. But that's a really cool idea. Especially there's a show on Peacock right now, Fight Night. If you guys maybe have heard of Fight Night, you've seen the commercials. I've watched like the first two episodes of Fight Night, and I'm enjoying it. I love the '70s period, the big afros, everybody, you know, the slang and all that. So that would be a really cool period to see Blade uh, doing his thing. Let's see for Blade hunting down Dracula. That's a really good idea. That is a really good idea. I like that. That would be yeah. That would be really cool, Caden. Shout out to Eddie for that idea. What's the best Marvel show you love? Okay, so there's only one animated show. So obviously X Men '97 in terms of animation. In terms of if we're talking MCU now, all of Marvel animation going back before then, I'd have to think about that. But live action, that's tough because I enjoyed WandaVision. I thought WandaVision was a good show. I enjoyed Moon Knight. I enjoyed um, I enjoyed Loki. So I'm really trying to think about that. That's a good question. Now I know Marvel fan. I don't know if he's here or not. Usually he's here. I hope he's doing okay. But usually, I know Marvel fan wanted me to do like another ranking of the Marvel shows so far. So that's something I'll definitely have to pick up and do at some point again. But I have to say, like WandaVision is still probably my favorite. Loki and WandaVision's very close. Moon Knight's like a close third because I really enjoy Moon Knight. Even though Moon Knight had some flaws, I do kind of wish they showed Moon Knight actually, you know, in action and not doing the cutaways. So I hope if they do a Moon Knight season two, they don't do the cutaways. They actually show us. Because with Jake Lockley, I mean Jake Lockley, he's no guy to play with. I've been reading some Moon Knight comics recently. He's no guy to play with. So it'd be cool to see that. It'd be cool to maybe see Moon Knight team up with Daredevil at some point. So there's a lot of cool team ups that they could do as well, along with the Midnight Suns and maybe that sort of thing. Yeah. What about you, King Flame? What's your that would be a good question for everybody. Everybody in the chat. What is your favorite MCU show? What's been your favorite Marvel show so far? It could be animated, it could be live action, uh, either one. But I'd say as a whole, eternally, if all together, I'd say X Men '97 is my ultimate like favorite Marvel show. X Men '97 just it took all the check marks in it and they just marked all of them off, all one by one. Things that I was expecting, things that I wasn't expecting. I mean, come on, like the show was just so the first season was just so well written and I can't wait for season 2 of X-Men 97. I hope they don't change too much. I hope they're able to keep what made the first season very good and continue that with the prior seasons, with further seasons going further. Kaden, you said X Men '97 is my favorite right now. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, X Men '97. I mean, I was working at the time. I was working at the newspaper company, so I would get home about maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it just all depends. Tuesday mornings, but uh, Tuesday nights, because Tuesday nights were always the longest nights. So I would be working, my feet would be killing me and all that stuff, but all my mind was that brand new episode of X Men '97 that would be coming out, and I would just be excited. And I would come home, lay down, turn on Disney Plus, and boom, the episode, and I'm staying up and I'm freaking out and I'm shocked and I'm, almost to tears in certain parts of episodes and things of that nature, because X Men '97, again, was just a well written show. What's up, Kimberly? Welcome back. Cartoon Network UK has a new show coming out about Lego Dream. Okay. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to y'all over there. So there's a brand new show. Hopefully it can come here. But yeah, I think a Blade animated series is well overdue as well. I think it would be really cool to see a Blade animated series. So if there is a Blade animated series, do you guys want this to be like a different universe like X-Men '97? Like apparently your friendly neighbor Spider-Man's going to be in a different universe as well. Do you guys want it to be a different universe, or do you want it to connect with the MCU's Blade? Let me know what you guys think about that, because that's definitely an idea we can write down. See, we're giving Marvel some ideas right now. You really think about it. Like we got a Marvel Vampires show, a '70s period piece with Blade. I mean, there's a good amount of ideas that we're coming up with for a Blade movie right now, and I'm sure we're already almost down to the first page as well. So there's plenty of ideas. Mind me, gotta take a sip of water. When I talk for a long period, there we go. When I talk for a long period of time, sometimes my throat starts to kill me, but we're good. See if you are saying anything else right now. But yeah, that's a really good idea, Eddie. I'm still thinking about that idea. Like all of the ideas we have so far are just really good, and I'm looking down the list. I'm like, man, Marvel should have called us. They should have called us. Seriously. I'm sure Marvel fan, if he was here, he would have had some ideas too, because I'm sure he would have a whole list of ideas, because he's very knowledgeable about the comics too, and I know a lot of you guys are very knowledgeable about the comics and the movies and things of that nature too. So that just makes it even more better, where we're all just we know some of the things, and even some of the things we didn't know. We are learning new things. So yeah. Trying to think, because I know there's Maya Goth. If you guys know who Maya Goth is, she is supposed to be in Blade. Now she hasn't disclosed what her part in Blade is, but there has been talks that she might be Lilith. Um, and if you guys know a little bit about Lilith, uh, she has ties to Mephisto, I think. Is she the daughter of Mephisto? I might be wrong about that. Let's see. Lilith Blade, right? Let's see. And she could be a big bad too, as well in these movies. Um, Definitely be a big bad, because she definitely has a lot of story. Okay, the first version of the Daughter of Dracula. Okay, the Daughter of Dracula. Okay. Ooh, you know what? That could work. So let's see. Maya Goth, Lilith and Dracula interaction. Both big bads of the supernatural. We're gonna call it the supernatural saga. Because I feel like the next saga, there's gonna be two things in the next saga that I feel like Marvel's gonna take big initiative in: the X-Men and the Supernatural. I feel like those are gonna be the two sections of Marvel that they're gonna focus on for the time being, and then maybe they build up to Avengers versus X-Men. We'll get the Avengers that come back into the scene a little later into that. So that might be something that they do. So Supernatural saga, because I mean, would X Men be considered supernatural? I mean, I think so, but I guess it all depends on who you ask. I'm gonna get to your comments in a second. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Marvel fan is smart. It's smart too. This is amazing community. Yeah, amazing community. Like I said, I hope Marvel fan's doing good. He might be at work or something. He might be busy. He'll probably check. He'll probably catch the stream on replay. So if he has any ideas, I'll probably type his ideas. I'll definitely type his ideas on here. So when we get done, I'll try to share the screenshot the entire list of ideas we have, so that way people can go in and check out the ideas and what they think and things of that nature. My favorite Marvel movie is X-Men and other Marvel movies. So you like the original X-Men movies? Those are some good films. There have been some hit or miss films, but obviously like the first X-Men, the second X-Men, the third X-Men. Um, Obviously Days of Future Past was a phenomenal film. Things of that nature. Deadpool movies, they're good. I'm really trying to think about Marvel movies. I haven't watched Marvel movies and show in a long time. Okay, so you haven't. Well, whenever you do decide to watch a Marvel movie or show, definitely let me know. Let me know which one you watched. Maybe another what if idea could be that Blade creates a new sword and gets Doctor Strange to enchant it. Oh, okay. So like a Doctor Strange. That's good because that could be a way to plant the seeds for the Midnight Suns if Doctor Strange is potentially in that group. That could be a great way to also. It wouldn't be like a small cheap cameo. It would actually build into the narrative of the story, which I think that's what people want with these characters. They don't, with the Secret Wars. I mean, obviously we're gonna get all these cameos and things of that nature. But again, what Deadpool and Wolverine did so well is the fact that there were cameos, but they built into the narrative of the story going forward. And I think people want that. They don't want this to just be like, hi guys, you remember me, Tobey Maguire from my own trilogy? I'm here. No, they don't want that. They want narrative driven stories with these cameos, with these characters coming back. So yeah, I like that idea. Let's see, creates a new sword. So maybe he's fighting a battle with maybe Dracula potentially, or maybe his daughter Lilith, and the sword breaks, and so now he has to get a new sword from Doctor Strange, or maybe someone helps him get a new sword, and like you said, and enchants the sword. So I like that idea. New sword and enchants it for Blade. Old sword damaged by Lilith. Okay. Moving into your comments, Mutant probably has connections to Supernatural. I mean, the X gene did come out from the Celestials' experiments in the comics. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that would be like Supernatural, because I know some Spider-Man. I've been hearing some Spider-Man stuff, and I don't know if you guys have seen the new Venom trailer. I'm not the biggest fans of those films, but I do know that in the trailer, Noel is there, and Noel is a very big part, especially when it comes to the symbiote arc. He's the king of all symbiotes, and if you've read, that guy does not play. He does not play at all. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Apparently, he's not gonna be a one and done villain in that Venom film, so maybe I'll just have to see it because of Noel, because I want to see what they do with him. Also, Norman Reedus is going to be playing the character. If you guys have played, not played, watched The Walking Dead, you know who Norman Reedus is. Um, I need to watch Marvel. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, watch just whatever Marvel show you want to watch. If you want some suggestions, I'm sure people in chat, and even if you want to ask me, I'm sure there's some things, ideas I can give you. I did also hear about the Celestials. I did hear that the Celestial, there will be more things with the Celestials coming. So it's not like, you know, people on Twitter are always trying to say like, oh, they're never gonna explain the big celestial being in the ocean. I'm like, we got Captain America: Brave New World. I'm sure we're gonna get some mention of why it's here, and then I'm sure when the mutant saga happens, I'm sure we're probably gonna get some more things of that nature with the Celestials. We just got to give it time. I think what people kind of don't understand is that people want everything to be solved in like one movie, like exactly after the event happened, and it just doesn't happen that way. If you're a comic book, you know, if you've read comic books, sometimes certain things go on for at least, you know, 4 to 5 issues. It just depends. So it's just kind of an idea and thought just to kind of have. But I have a feeling, you know, a lot of the questions that people are having with certain things we're gonna get answers to. Did Deadpool come out with 5 movies? No, Deadpool only has 3 movies. Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool and Wolverine. Even though they claim that Deadpool and Wolverine isn't Deadpool 3, so you could kind of count Deadpool and Wolverine as like a side story. That's what I think of Deadpool and Wolverine. It's like a side story. And there's nothing wrong with that because Marvel has side stories in the comics. Marvel team ups, I kind of think of it as like a Marvel team up kind of film, and I honestly feel like Marvel should do more of those. They don't all have to go on into theaters. They could do special presentations on Disney Plus. I think that would be a really cool idea just to kind of get more substance and more interaction with certain characters that people want to see. How would that play out? You know, so that's certainly an idea. If I was in charge of Marvel, I would definitely try to do like Marvel team ups, but it would have to make sense to the story. I don't want it to be just a thing that you just throw out there and do. It has to make sense to the story. Like a Hulk Father's Day special. Like yeah, like Hulk and his son Scar, because I mean we're trying to figure out with the whole Hulk thing and Universal still having the rights. We don't really know for sure if World War Hulk will actually happen. Obviously, it might, but it's just gonna be it might be a while to get World War Hulk. So we'll have to see. But yeah, like a Hulk Father's Day special would be cool. They did one with the Guardians. I love the Guardians holiday special. I thought that was really cool around Christmas time that they had that. Also, the Guardians. I mean, James Gunn. Now he's head of DCU now. Shout out to James Gunn, the DCU. Looking forward to that. You know, we got Creature Commandos coming in December, and Superman next year in July, and Peacemaker season 2. So I'm looking forward to what James Gunn has in store for that DCU, and I'm just looking forward to it again. But yeah, Guardians. I mean, Werewolf by Night releasing around Halloween. I thought that was a really good idea. Now it was in black and white. Now they have it in color version, and I love Werewolf by Night. I feel like that's one of the one of Marvel's most underrated projects is Werewolf by Night. You don't really hear people talk about it that much. But I love the 30s Universal theme. The again the creepy supernatural element. What Blade is in, um, that's something that people have wanted to see, and we're finally getting little glimpses and little teases of that side coming out. It's really going to come out. I feel like in the next saga, they're going to build up to it. So, yeah. So if you guys would you guys want like a Blade, some kind of Blade special maybe after his movie? Maybe like a Blade Halloween special, or um maybe Blade is teaming up with another hero for like a Halloween type film or spotlight they could do. Would you guys like to see that? Disney Plus got a lot of Marvel movies and shows. Should I watch the old Marvel movies or the newer ones? Well, it all depends, because if you want to start from the beginning, I'd suggest start out from the beginning. Um, Marvel has a section with all the movies in chronological order that you can watch, starting out with Captain America: The First Avenger. I think what comes after that? There's something that comes after that. It might be Agent Carter. But if you don't want to watch Agent Carter, because I know there's other shows and stuff on there that connect to it uh, in wide scale, but I think Iron Man is after that, then Thor. So they have a whole chronological list. So maybe start from the beginning, then work your way up, because you get more intel and information on the characters and their dynamics and things of that nature that will lead you kind of closer into where we are now. So yeah, that's my advice. Start from the beginning. Start with Captain America: First Avenger, and then work your way up from there. There's gonna be some good, and I'm gonna keep it straight with you. There's gonna be some movies that you're gonna enjoy. There's gonna be some movies that are kind of a snooze fest, like Dark World. So just keep that in mind when watching those. But I think a good amount of the movies I think you will enjoy and kind of understand the characters in the beginning of this universe. Something else I do want to mention, because if you guys have been around, you guys know that Blade is getting a video game. We had the trailer for it last year. It looked really cool. And something I noticed is that, and I know it's a thing in the comics, but Blade has a sword, and he has these engravings of different religions on his sword. Do you guys want to see something similar to that in the movie? Like what he has in the comics, but also in the game, if you guys looked at that trailer. Also, King Flame, while you're here, I will give you one Marvel show that is a must watch, and that's Daredevil. If you haven't seen Daredevil, please go watch Daredevil. All the seasons of Daredevil, you will enjoy the show. I'm telling you right now, you will enjoy Daredevil. I think a lot of people in here can speak on that too. That you'll enjoy Daredevil, especially that Marvel Netflix era was definitely something that was definitely something very intricate and special that a lot of people now want to see a lot of the characters back, and I think we could see them back. I think we could. There's been talks, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Kaden, you said, hey, bro, I'm about to be in the store with my family real quick. I'll be back shortly. I'd love to continue these discussions for sure. Yeah, definitely. Take your time. I'll be here, I'm sure. And we'll be back. We'll be here. I'll be here talking more. Let's see. Eddie, you said for the Blade script, he encounters the remaining member of the Howling Commandos, Dun Dun Dugan, who in the comics eventually became the leader of the Shield's Universal Monsters. Maybe a chance to have a Howling Commando special. Ooh, that's a that's a good idea. Okay, so let's see. You said Howling Commandos, Howling Commandos, and done, done again. Setting up the shield. So shield, I'm gonna have to do the shield. I hate that the typing. I wish I was faster on the keyboard, but it'll do. Shield Universal Monsters. So can you tell me more? Because I don't know too much about that. So could you elaborate more on the Shield Universal Monsters? Do you who's all in that group in particular? And then you said Howling Commandos. Disney Plus special presentation, I guess we'll call it that. Special presentation. Like it's crazy. We're already giving Marvel some ideas outside of Blade to continue this story. Um, so again, shout out to all of you in the chat for giving your ideas and feedback and things of that nature. I think I did watch some Marvel movies before the live action X Men Deadpool. You did. Do you recall which ones you did? If if so, then I could probably give you ones that maybe you haven't watched yet. Let's see, Eddie, you said Man Thing, Werewolf, Vampire by Night, and Hit Monkey. Well, that is a really interesting thing because Hit Monkey is getting a second season. I haven't watched Hit Monkey, so that's interesting. So Howling Commandos team. So you said Man Thing, which I don't know for sure, but I think Man Thing. I think Man Thing is a very big character that has some like multiversal abilities, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong. But I did hear that he does have like some multiversal abilities. But again, I think that would be something to do something with Man Thing. Maybe he has like a Man Thing special presentation. Hmm. Would you guys like to see that? A Man Thing special presentation? That is something that would be cool. But yeah, I haven't seen Hit Monkey, but I know it's something I do want to check out. Maybe that show could have ties to him being in the Howling Commandos. So maybe we could do like Hit Monkey, the MCU canon, by joining the Howling Commandos. So you want the Howling Commandos. So that would be good because I said if we want the Midnight Suns team, my ideal picture of that would be like Doctor Strange, Moon Knight, Punisher. I'm trying to think who else. Who like obviously Blade's gonna be the leader of the group. So what other people, heroes would you guys like to see in the Midnight Suns? Just kind of like as a team for you. Right now you're on Disney Plus. Okay. So just kind of go down the list and see like what you've watched and things that you haven't watched. I could probably give you an idea of what to watch. Um, yeah. But Eddie, do you have any other ideas? So the Howling Commandos. So again, I don't know about the Howling Commandos, and I know it's a different brand. But is the Howling Commandos sort of like what the Creature Commandos is? Is it similar to the Creature Commandos, or is it completely different? Man, I'm pretty much the same. Okay, okay, cool. So yeah, again, I think that would be cool. Because I mean, that would give Marvel again an opportunity to kind of have like a team that a team that people haven't really heard of before. So that's another team that could build up to something. Um, Man, I'm just thinking about it. There's a lot of great ideas they can do for the Supernatural saga with the X-Men and the Supernatural. It's insane. It's insane how much content we can get. And like I said, I know they're probably thinking of ideas for an Alpha Flight movie or a TV show or something. Because again, that's just a team I would love to see in the MCU, or just maybe have an animated show, whatever the case they decide to do. Because I mean, we've seen Alpha Flight in the original X-Men animated series. Because we got to see Wolverine in that episode, kind of go back to that team. I'd say make Dugan the main lead we've seen in the first Captain America movie. Okay, so Dugan will be the leader. Dugan to be the leader of the Commandos. I like that. Howling Commandos. Captain America sort of role. Okay. What Marvel shows should I watch that I've never seen the show? I don't really know in particular King Flame because you haven't really said exactly what shows you watched, so I can't really tell you what shows you haven't watched. On Disney Plus. Yeah, yeah, on Disney Plus. I can't really. What? Okay, so what Marvel shows have you not watched? What Marvel shows have you watched? I think that's the better question to ask. Have you seen WandaVision? Have you seen Loki? Have you seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Have you seen Moon Knight? Have you seen What If? Hawkeye, She Hulk. I wouldn't suggest Secret Invasion. We don't talk about Secret Invasion. That's not Secret Invasion. But if you wanted to watch that show, be my guest. Um, that's definitely a show on the list that we're gonna do like a rewriting of, because Secret Invasion could have been a lot better than what we got. I'm trying to think. Is there any other shows that I am missing? Miss Marvel. You go watch Miss Marvel if you haven't watched that. Okay, so no. Well then, if that's a no, then I'd say like watch all of them. I mean that's really like all I can tell you is like watch all of them and just kind of go down the list and kind of mark the ones you've already watched. I'd say start with WandaVision, then like with Loki, then I'd say like Moon Knight, then maybe I'd say like maybe Miss Marvel, maybe Falcon and Winter Soldier, because some of these shows are gonna play into the movies, going forward. Like we had the Marvels. Regardless about how you feel about the Marvels, I honestly thought the Marvels was a fun film. I think there were some things that could have been better, but I think ultimately it's not as bad as a film as people initially made it out to be. Also, that post credit scene, we're definitely gonna have to get some kind of build up to that because I mean, Monica Rambeau's mom as binary, and then her being with Beast, actually comic accurate Beast, not scary werewolf Beast, but an actual legit Beast, even though he is CGI, but still uh, accurate to say the least. And then we have like Captain America: Brave New World. That's gonna have, I would imagine, have some ties with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Probably some events from there, and obviously, some other things like the Thunderbolts. That's gonna be coming out next year as well. Let's see, Eddie said, "Gotta go." All right, Eddie. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for the ideas. You brought a lot of ideas to the table, and I hope you come back for the next stream. I'm gonna have another stream. The next stream I do is gonna be Spider-Man related. But like I said, this is gonna be a series that we do once every month. So the next one, I'm gonna do a vote. So I'm gonna vote, give you some choices. What show or movie should we do a rewriting of or a writing of next? And whatever one wins, that's the one we'll do next month. But yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your week. Take care, Eddie. Yeah. Let's see. Man, this is a great list, and we're almost down to the second page. It's insane the ideas that you guys have come up with that we've come up with. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna add one right here, and that's gonna be Blade being the leader of the Midnight Suns. Also, something else that I wanted to ask, which Marvel showed? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by that. Another question I definitely have, because this idea has been kind of thrown around ever since Deadpool and Wolverine. We obviously know that Wolverine. What Marvel show have you watched before? I've watched all of them, really. The only ones I haven't watched is Agents of Shield. Obviously, some of the like the well, not hidden gems, but the ones that don't really get talked about, like the Runaways. I heard the Runaways wasn't that good. Um, Cloak and Dagger. Obviously, I know who Cloak and Dagger are because of X Men '97, because they made an appearance in the last episode. So obviously, I knew about them, but I didn't really watch the show. But I do know that I think one of the actresses, she was on one of the Disney shows, and she played Cloak. I think it's Cloak. It's a dagger. I honestly don't know. I just know that Cloak and Dagger, it's a duo team. Here we go. Yeah, here's the show. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. She Olivia Holt. That's who it is. Olivia Holt. She played Dagger in that show. Which I wonder now with that, will they come back and play those characters? Do you guys want to see them come back and play those characters? Is another question. Like I said, I haven't really seen the show, so I can't really tell you. But as far as like I'd say like the main MCU shows and like one or two of the Netflix shows like Daredevil, I'd say Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. I'd say the Defenders in some amount. I don't think the Defenders is I don't think the Defenders show was that bad. Like people were saying that it was. The Defenders definitely had some flaws, but I think ultimately you'd have to watch the Defenders to kind of get an understanding of Daredevil season 3 and what Matt's story is going forward in that season by watching the Defenders. So maybe that could be like a Blade maybe assembling the trying to assemble the team for the Midnight Suns. That could be like a possible post credit scene. So maybe he does talk to I don't know because I mean technically he's already if we go by this and the idea that Eddie had, I think it was Eddie. No, it wasn't Eddie. It was Caden. Going by the idea what Caden had about him seeing Doctor Strange and giving him a new sword and enchanting the sword, I think that that's already like one connection there. Another connection I could see is maybe Moon Knight. Um, because maybe by the end of the movie, Blade is in New York. Though he would probably already be in New York, I'm sure, or maybe not. I don't know, but there's gonna be some way that they connect the dots with these characters. But I know for sure that would be a really cool little post credit scene for those characters to kind of link up. Did you watch the Netflix Marvel shows and movies before? Marvel only had Netflix shows. They never did any movies. Sadly, I don't think they got as far to that point to do Marvel Netflix movies, but I'm sure they would have. Because I know there were some Marvel Netflix shows that we were going to get that we didn't get. Like there was a Misty Knight and a Colleen show, Misty Knight is from Luke Cage, and Colleen is from Iron Fist. So they were gonna have a show with those two, but that didn't work out. I think there was another show they were going to do, but I can't remember what character in particular they were going to do one on. But that one got canceled too. I'm trying to think. Are there any other ideas that I would like to see in a Blade movie personally? Honestly, I'd like to see Blade's interaction with maybe Blade's interaction with his family, if he has any family around. Um, I think that would be something like a little, maybe like a small little family dynamic. Does Blade have a Does Blade have a girlfriend or a wife? Just small little, interactions like that. I think would kind of add more humanized stuff to Blade, but just kind of um, seeing where his vulnerabilities are. Also, I think would be cool in the movies would one of the things that would be cool in the movies is to do like different dynamic lighting, right? So for certain scenes, maybe like there's like red lights, in the background behind him, to kind of give off that menacing vibe, like this isn't a guy you want to mess with. So dynamic lighting, for example, red, red light, red lighting. Maybe we can see, because if you watch the Netflix Daredevil show, then you see like the Empire State Building is like red in the show sometimes. I think it was blue one time, but it was usually just red. I think they might have done that for the show for show purposes, but I'm not really sure. Or it could have been just the specific day. Maybe there was like an event going on, because they usually do that with the Empire State Building. They usually light it up with different colors and stuff. So maybe they could do something like that. Red lights at the Empire State Building. What's my favorite hero movie? I'd say my favorite hero movie would probably be Spider Man. I'd say like Spider Man Into the Spider Verse. I think that's my favorite hero movie. And that's changed over time. Like obviously Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire, the X-Men, like the first X-Men movie. But I'd say like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse even now, and I love Across the Spider-Verse, but it's somehow Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse that I just had like a different connection to. Not to say that I didn't have a connection to Across the Spider-Verse, but that first movie will just always hit home for different reasons for me. And the second movie hit home for different reasons as well, but the first one is just the first one I always think about is like the one that I'm like, man, this is like a good time. And plus, that movie came out 2018. I mean, again, 2018 was Marvel's best year. They had Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. They had Black Panther. They had Daredevil season 3. They had Avengers Infinity War. Like that was just a great year. Like if you look up Marvel movies in 2018, Marvel movies, like let's do that. Marvel movies and shows. What's up, Caden? Welcome back. And shows in 2018. So we had Avengers Infinity War, we had Ant-Man the Wasp, we had Black Panther, we had the first Venom movie, we had Deadpool 2, let's see, we had Into Spider-Verse. So yeah, and then Cloak and Dagger also came out that year, which ironically I didn't even know that show came out that year. Did you watch a Superman movie before? I have watched the Superman movies. I watched them when I watched them when I was younger, and I watched them recently. I will tell you, watch Superman if you're going to watch the OG Superman movies. Christopher Reeves. Watch 1 and 2. Don't watch 3 and 4. Don't make that mistake of watching 3 and 4. I couldn't even rewatching those movies. I couldn't even finish 3 for a lot of good reasons. For one, the quality of the movie is horrible. For two, the effects of the movie are bad. And three, there's scenes where you can literally see Christopher Reeves hanging on strings in the movie. And I'm like, how in the world did they let this go by? How? So that movie that's where things just dipped in quality. And four, I didn't even bother to watch four because I'm sure four would have been just as bad. But watch one and two. I'd say, after that, like Superman Returns. That depends on how you feel. Obviously, Superman Returns is gonna kind of take place after the events of Superman 1 and 2 with Christopher Reeves. It's just a different actor. They got Brandon Roth to play Superman in that movie. And if you guys don't know, Brandon Roth was also in another movie as well that you guys maybe you've seen his character. You guys are Scott. If anyone is Scott Pilgrim, if you guys are Scott Pilgrim fans, you guys seen the live action movie. He played he played one of the evil X's. If you guys know which evil X, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, he played one of the evil X's. So yeah, that was really cool finding out about that. And he also voices his the same evil X in the Scott Pilgrim anime as well. And then I'd say like, well, Henry Cavill. It depends on how you feel about Henry Cavill as Superman. Rather you think his approach or the approach that Zack Snyder did with his Superman worked out or not. That's up to you. Honestly, for me, I think Henry Cavill's a great actor. I think his Superman had potential, but I'm just not the fan of his Superman. I don't like the dark, edgy, you know, I'm scared of you Superman. Superman's a character that, you're supposed to be able to when you're in need, you feel like you need his help. You feel like you can come up to him at, little kids can come up to him and say, "Hey Superman, I want to be like you one day." Like that's what I envision Superman to be. And a lot of people say, "Oh, Superman's this campy character," and they say the same thing about Cyclops. But the thing that I feel like what X-Men 97 did so well with Cyclops is it made Cyclops not this Boy Scout character. I mean, yeah, he has some Boy Scout tendencies, don't get me wrong. But I feel like what the way that they were able to show his character and show that there is more to Cyclops than him just being a guy who shoots lasers out of his eyeballs. Um, there's more to him. So I have a feeling, and I hope with James Gunn's Superman that they show that Superman is more than just a guy who is, fighting for hope and justice for all people. Like, I hope they really show Superman being this guy who, at times, is kind of like, am I really doing the right thing? Is this really how I should go about saving the world? Or is there another way? So I kind of hope they go with that approach, and I have a feeling they might. So we'll just have to see in a year's time what they do. Let's see. About live action superhero movies did you watch before? Oof. If I had a list, it would be a long list. I've watched a lot of superhero movies. Um, so yeah. But welcome back, Caden. If you have any more ideas for Blade, definitely let me know if you have any more ideas or anyone, that has any ideas. We're just chatting about tons of stuff at this point, but I enjoy talking to you guys, and it's just always been a great time doing these streams and just kind of getting your guys' ideas because I feel like there's a lot of people on this YouTube space, a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people who I feel like they complain a lot, but they don't really, they don't really do anything to try to be like, well, what can we do to make things better? It's easier to complain about things, but it's a lot easier to say like, okay, what can we do to make things better? What could they have done to make things better? What feedback can we give to, the people in charge of these movies to try to give them an idea and perspective of how we see things? It doesn't mean all the time that they're going to do what we want, and I want to make this clear. Fan service can be a good thing, but fan service could also be a very bad thing. Because when you give fan service to every single thing, you don't really get a chance to explore and experiment with new ideas. Let's see, Eddie. Welcome back, Eddie. You said, have you heard of a channel called New Rock Stars or Comic Drake makes fun takes and how to get into the comics? I have watched some of New Rockstar's videos. Uh, Marvel fan put me on Mary Marvelite actually recently because I was actually looking for because we got the new show Wonder Man that's coming out. So I want to know more about Wonder Man. He put me onto that, so I've been watching a lot of their content. Like I said, I've been watching New Rockstars. Obviously, Comic Storian. I watched Comic Storian for a while. Rest in peace, Comic Storian. Um, I can't believe he's gone. I still can't believe he's gone because man, his breakdowns in the comics and he made you he got you immersed into these comic book stories. And I miss his work. I miss like obviously there's still videos being put out, but man, Comic Story was just on a different level. And he definitely inspired a lot of other people in that YouTube space to kind of talk more comics. Fresh Comic Stories is another channel that I follow. There's a channel that I follow, I don't know the name in particular, but they go over every Spider Man comic. So there's a lot of comic book channels that I watch on my downtime. It's always fun and exciting whenever you stream, man. I feel it brings people together, and it's a great it brings together a better time for me, everybody watching, and you. And I hope, yeah, you know, I don't really say it, but you guys don't understand. Like sometimes I'm going through things, and just seeing your guys' comments on the videos, you guys tuning into the streams, they really help me get through some times that I'm dealing with. So I see it as an awesome thing. If I'm able to help, others get through their day and have a good day and things of that nature, then I feel like I've done my job. But I feel like you guys have done your job because you guys have been supporting, you guys have been sharing, you guys have been, hit me up in the DMs and just sharing encouraging, kind words and things of that nature. That really does help me out and kind of just inspires me to make more content. So it's just an amazing, infinite loop of success and amazement that I enjoy. So, you know, don't just do that with my channel. Do it with other channels because you never know you never know who, what, or what anybody's going through. Everybody's going through something. And I just think it's amazing where you're able to show positivity and not toxic positivity, not fake positivity, but real, natural, authentic positivity where everyone is just simply themselves and wants to see other people do well. And I think that's what, more than ever in this world, we need more of. We need more people who want to try to help people, who want to try to inspire people to, do things. Because people, you know, I'm sure some people have been bullied in school. I mean, we've all been bullied in school at some point. But being able to come to terms with yourself, being able to come to terms with who you are as a person and not really care about what others have to say. You know, I used to get called nerd in school. I used to get called weird. Go back to where you came from. Like, I had a lot of things said to me in high school and that sort of thing. But I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of. If you think I'm a nerd, that's fine. If you think I'm a geek, that's fine. If you think I'm weird, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, I'm enjoying what I love. I'm enjoying the simple things in life. And I think ultimately that's the best thing that anyone can do is enjoy what you love and enjoy the simple things in life. And that's all you can do. Me too. I've been getting bullied. You've been getting bullied in school, King Flame? Well, let me share some advice with you, King Flame. Don't listen to what any of these people, haters, naysayers, people who haven't found themselves, don't listen to them because all they have to offer for you is distraction. And a lot of people want to distract you from things that you know you deserve and things that you know that you're going to get. Manifest things and say that this will happen. If you want that job, say, I already got that job. if you want to become the biggest movie star on the planet, say I am the biggest movie star on the planet. Because when you tell yourself that, you do everything you can to get there. And that's good advice to anybody that's been bullied in school. A lot of famous people, some people that you would think would not get bullied. Ariana Grande, she got bullied in school. And look at her. She's one of the biggest artists, singing artists out right now. There's so many celebrities who could sit down and tell you some stories about the times that they got bullied. Steve Jobs got bullied for being a nerd. But look at him. He made Apple. And Apple is still striving and making billions of dollars, probably trillions of dollars to this day. Because the man decided, I want to make computers. I want to take technology to the next level. And he made it happen. When you make your dreams happen, it doesn't matter what anyone else has to say. Because you and your self success is what speaks to you. And that's what matters. Your pet peeves in movies. I'd say my pet peeves in movies is definitely like stereotypes. I don't like stereotypes in movies. And I know a lot of old movies back then did a lot of stereotypes, so that's kind of something that I'm not cool with. I'm not cool with now. Uh, Hollywood's starting to get out of that a little bit, but I still feel like we're not at the place that we should be. Another pet peeve in movies is I feel like sometimes movies kind of go out of their way to over explain things. I feel like you don't have to over explain things in movies. I feel like it's up to the viewer's determination as to what they think the movie is about, as to what they think the overall lesson is in the movie. A lot of classic movies and a lot of iconic movies try not to go out of their way to explain to you why certain characters do the things that they do. You oftentimes understand through little subtle hints or foreshadowing, from the beginning, and then you see how the story plays out, and then you're like, okay, I get why that person did what they did. I get why that person thinks the way that they think. So you have an understanding. So over exposition is another pet peeve of mine. I feel like too much CGI effects in movies is another big thing. Like I know CGI can be very helpful and it can be advanced and it has advanced over the years. But something about practical effects. I love seeing practical effects. I love seeing literal people in actual practical suits wearing, certain costumes and things of that nature. Because I feel like you get to feel the character in your spirit. I feel like when you're able to have the practical suits and the practical models and the stage setups and all that, I feel like you literally get to feel yourself in these locations. And it just speaks to the immersion of the actors itself, in my opinion. So that's something else that I think is a pet peeve of mine. But it's not too big of a pet peeve because I understand why these studios do it. I just think if they, did more practical effects, I think they would understand that there's a much bigger experience to it than it just being a movie, than it just being a film that they're doing. Let's see, I'm going to catch up in your comments. 9th of March as the first thing. Um, Room with the company is to help me complete the first place. Okay, so is it like a competition ESP that you have? I really enjoyed your live streaming. Thank you, King Flame. Thank you. Katie, you said that's true. I've noticed the bullying mostly quite as everyone got older and people started realizing it was cool to go on their own path. Exactly. Go on your own path. I feel like a lot of things in school, people want you to follow the crowd, be in with the crowd. I was never in with the crowd. I never fit in. People try to say, you need to fit in. Fitting in just wasn't me, and it just will never be me. I am authentically me. I am who I am. And real people will rock with me who I am, just like real people will rock with who you are. and don't try to change yourself for other people. The only reason you should change yourself is for you, and change for the better. Don't change for the worse. You were getting bullied on YouTube too? Yeah. So social media has really allowed a lot of people to bully people even more so than in school. Because in school, you see the bully face to face. You see that person. So if you want to have a conversation or there's a conflict at hand, you know it's between you and that person. But on social media, you don't really know because again, when people are hidden behind avatars, hidden behind, these different characters, you don't really know who you're talking to. You may think you're talking to someone your age and you're talking to someone who's 40 years older than you are and bullying you for whatever reason because of an opinion or because you like something or whatever the case may be. I just think it's really childish. Other channels you follow mostly one genre, such as I actually follow a good amount of channels. I follow gaming channels. I follow channel reaction channels in the clutch, Dwayne and Jazz, um, the movie couple, uh, late to the party. I follow a good amount of channels, like different genres. I follow some music channels. I follow some movie channels. Fun facts about movies you didn't know. Like there's so many different channels that I follow, like gaming wise, um, like Miranda Lorian, the Rad Brad. There's a lot of channels. Berleezy, when I want to watch some funny content, Berleezy. I've watched some Corey Kenshin. There's a lot of YouTubers that I watch in my downtime. That's so true, Jace. I've forgotten about that, and whenever I watch a movie, sometimes now it feels like there's too much CGI where it makes it feel artificial. Even as a kid, most of all my favorite shows, yeah, and that's why I say like I feel like with CGI can be good, but when you use it too much, it takes away from the story. I feel like it takes away from the element of the movie. So again, hopefully Marvel can start doing more practical sets, practical environments, because I feel like people will really start to feel like immersed in the world of Marvel, and maybe that may be one of the reasons why people feel the way they feel about Marvels because they feel like they don't feel immersed into the world as much. Lastly, your thoughts on the upcoming Lakia movie? Hold on, let me look that up. Let me look that up. I actually haven't watched that. What's the new upcoming movie? What's the new upcoming movie? I know they did Coraline. I see Coraline on here. Corpse Bride. I've watched. Cubo. Shout out to Koi Fish Gaming. He suggested that I watch that. Um. Oh. Oh, it's this movie. Or is it? I'm sure there might be another movie that's coming out that you're probably referring to. What shows will you make? Cartoon show. That's something I'll have to think about. I do want to write some animate shows. I do want to write some live action shows. I have a couple ideas that I've been working on for a long time, so we'll have to see. Our movies were the ones with the practical effects because not only does it look beautiful, but it can add to the humor and practical effects in the ways that you can't with CGI effects, like The Wizard of Oz, right? Like a classic movie like The Wizard of Oz, you see all the prop sets, you see the flowers, you see the yellow brick road, you see the trees and things of that nature, and they're built sets. They're built sets for the most part, I would imagine. So when you see stuff like that, you're like, wow, this is really beautiful. Like you get to see the world of this, or the original Willy Wonka movie. that was built. That was a build set. When you see all of that together, working together, it's like, wow, I really believe that this is a legit chocolate factory. Um, Even though that I think that movie had some issues with OSHA, but still giving you the benefit of the doubt. Now, I think people lose a lot of the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the overuse of CGI. Berlizzi is funny. Yeah, Berlizzi is funny. This other guy, oh yeah, yeah, I know Tweezy. Yeah, I follow him too. Yeah, he does. He did the SpongeBob roasting videos. Yeah, he did the SpongeBob roasting videos. I used to watch those all the time. And Berlizzi's Dora exposed video is one of the most hilarious videos out there. And he usually does a lot of great hilarious content when it comes to cartoons and things of that nature. But his Dora exposed video is so funny. And I love how he just goes in on Dora, but it's 100% the truth. Wild World. I actually that's my first time hearing about that movie, Wild World. Uh Wildwood. Not Wild World. It's a tale of love, loss, sacrifice, and secrets. Oh, there's a trailer for it. Okay. Maybe I'll do a trailer reaction for that because this is my first time hearing about this movie. So shout out to you, Eddie, for that suggestion. If you want me to do a reaction to it, let me know. Because I haven't seen the trailer. This is my first time hearing about it. There's a new movie called Flow. I haven't seen the trailer for that, but I've been hearing a lot of people saying that Flow might be best animated feature of this year. So I think they just released a trailer last night, but I haven't checked it out. So I might be doing a reaction to that as well. It's always cool to find YouTubers that are hilarious and funny without having drama, which can be a challenge to find. I just watched Wizard of Oz last night, and I still am impressed to this day about those effects. Yeah, count off your first point. Like, yeah, a lot of funny YouTubers like RDC. I always check out RDC. You know, RDC is quick. Whenever there's something, whether it's like the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef or something in sports that happened, I'm sure he's gonna have a skit on the whole Shannon Sharp situation. If you guys have heard about that, I'm sure he probably already has a skit out about that. So I definitely am a fan of RDC. Um, Hilarious guy. A lot of great hilarious YouTubers out there that are just simply really chill guys. They do also do gaming as well, so that gives them, that gives you a little bit more personality from them. Besides them just being funny, because everybody knows they're funny, but you get to have a little bit more understanding of their mindset and how they think and things of that nature, which is really cool. I just yeah, your point, the Wizard of Oz, like very impressive. Like I still want to know to this day, how in the world were they able to make that horse change to a different color like that? I'm sure there's probably like a secret to how they did it, but I still want to know like how did were they able to do that back then? Was it some color dye that they used to dye the horse, or like I need to know. uh, yeah, nostalgia. I came back for a few days ago to see what he was doing, what Tweezy was doing these days, and he still does roast. He does Dexter's Lab now and others. Yeah, he does. He does still do Dexter's Lab. I think he also streams as well. He streams different games and stuff. So again, like he has a different audience as well. Not only is he known for his skits and roasts and stuff, but he's also doing my bad. He's also doing like gaming and stuff, so that just gives him more of an audience. I recommend your second channel to some of my other friends, if you don't mind that. Also, I never knew when Dorothy turns into Technicolor, most of black and white turning into color. Yeah, it was. When that first happened, they said that was like one of the biggest scenes in film history, and it is because That was a different time because I mean, back in the day, a lot of films were black and white. And the fact that there were films that were coming out in color, Technicolor, at that time, it changed the game. Because I'm sure people have always wanted to know, like, what do these characters look like besides the black and white? Because again, they didn't have the cameras, they couldn't really afford. Scenes were actually recorded in color, but they painted the actors and sets black and white at the last part. That I didn't know. You just learned me something new today. I did not know that they did that. So that's really cool. And thinking about that, like the Wizard of Oz, I was in drama club in high school, and the Wizard of Oz was a play that we did in my junior year, and I was a Tin Man. And a funny story about that. I don't know if I've ever told this story before either. I know we're off topic. We're supposed to be talking about Blade, but why not? So I actually auditioned for Wizard of Oz in elementary school, second grade, and I wanted to play the Tin Man. But I was so stage fright and nervous at the time that I just did not know what to really do. So I ended up playing a tree. And I'm kind of bummed out because I was like, I really wanted to play the Tin Man. But no, I'm a freaking tree. So I just kind of took it as it was. Um, so I just took the role. I was like, "Yeah, it's a tree. It's fine. I really don't have to do anything but just stand here and just say, what are you doing picking apples off of my tree and things of that nature." So that's kind of what that was. But to kind of fast forward years later, auditioning for it again in high school, and I was like, I don't know what part I'm gonna get, honestly. Just whatever part you're gonna give me, I'll be fine with it. So my theater teacher, he comes up to me and he says, "You're gonna play the Tin Man." And I said, "Really? Like, why me?" And so what he did was every person that he casted, he wanted them to play the opposite of who they are. So obviously the Tin Man is a character who didn't have a heart. So to him, he said, because you have a lot of heart, I want you to play Tin Man. So that was kind of the reasoning for my casting as a Tin Man. It was a fun experience. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Drama Club. There were some things that happened kind of towards the end, but I won't really dive too much into it. But I'll just say it overall. It was a pretty good experience, um, to say the least. Yeah, you said a lot of stunt doubles were used because of the paint was a mess. Gotcha. I would imagine they had to use stunt doubles for that too. I love Willy. You said I love Willy Wonka too. I actually had a dream one time where I was writing a play where I was the Wizard of Oz himself, and the play was a crossover of Willy Wonka, and they met Augustus Gloop in the dream. LOL. That's hilarious. Those two movies, I honestly could have seen those two movies crossover. And you know what's funny about you saying that is because Tom and Jerry had movies with both The Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So that's really funny you mentioned that because I do see those movies kind of. I could see like a cross universe thing with those two because they're both fantasy type movies with a lot of surrealism and craziness in between. So, yeah, this is all about Jonathan. What's up, Jonathan? This stream is a new segment that we're calling "We Got the Script," and we've been talking about Blade, given some ideas for a script for Blade. We've also kind of been talking about some other things in between, some different movies, movie pet peeves, some history here and there, just things of that nature, kind of random conversations. But we've also been talking about some stuff for this Blade movie idea. Well, I had no idea about the Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka. I just looked this up and it looks amazing. Yeah, yeah, that is a thing. Because I remember like watching the Tom and Jerry Wizard of Oz one on Cartoon Network when it aired, and I was just like, wow, this is really cool. I hope they do more of these. And then we ended up getting one with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So I'm hoping one day they do one with Tom and Jerry meets the Iron Giant. I think that would be such a dope crossover with Tom and Jerry, and they can make it happen because again, they're Warner Brothers characters. So why not? And they're both in multiverses. Which, if you guys don't know the new announcement today, the Powerpuff Girls are coming to multiverses. Um, and those characters they've been hinted about for a while. They're actually in one of the commercials for multiverses, and I think they're in the new comics that are coming out too. There's some new multiverses comics, tie-in comics that are coming out, ironically on my birthday, which is next Wednesday. So yeah, really cool. Spy water. Oh, there we go. But yeah, Jonathan, if you're still here, you have any ideas for the Blade movie? I'll go over all the ideas again that we've gotten so far, and just kind of go through it. So we have an introductory fight. What for one of the beginning scenes? An idea we had is like an introductory fight, similar to the OG Wesley Snipes Blade movie and the Batman. Then we had like a sort of a release idea pitch for the movie would be like a fall release, fall setting, maybe Halloween, somewhere around that time, release around November. Alexander, welcome to the stream, Alexander. How are you doing? I see you got an Iron Man profile pic. I am Iron Man. What's up? Welcome to the stream. We're kind of going over. We're doing a good, good. So it's a new segment called We Got the Script. So every once a month we're going to be doing a stream where we talk about different shows, different Marvel upcoming Marvel things, how we would write it, some old Marvel shows that may not have been good or may not have, Marvel movies that may not have been a good approach. How could we have written them better? Things of that nature, kind of a new series I'm starting to do over here. And so, yeah, if you have any ideas for the upcoming MCU Blade movie, what are some things you would like to see? Definitely let me know some ideas that you have. And I'm just kind of going through a list of ideas. So the music we had like a mixed bag of old school hip hop, rock, classical music, Black Thought, guitar solos, things of that nature, rock hits in there. And so we were trying to think of like the timing of when Blade, this movie could take place. So we thought like a few weeks into, him being Blade, excuse me, or maybe like it used to at least a year of him being Blade. We have had like a scene where he shows like his vampire teeth, and he explains his origin throughout the fight going on. Obviously, Blade is going to be an R-rated movie with violence and gore, dark theme elements, supernatural things of that nature. The Blade movie, Caden had a good idea with the alternate beginning of the movie, with the Blade movie starting out with visions of vampires and the different sects of vampires, things of that nature. And maybe we see Dracula. Maybe we see Dracula in a quick scene. Maybe he could be a Midnight Sun's big bad. We'll see. Then we had vampires fighting for control. Uh, they've been hiding out for 5 years, so maybe that could have happened potentially after the blip. We could have had vampires, so that would kind of lead into the show idea. Marvel Vampires Disney Plus series, whether it's animated or live action. I think we kind of came up with a animated, maybe like a Marvel Zombies crossover would be kind of cool, just to kind of add more into people who are curious about what happened in those 5 years after the blip happened. And then Eddie had this awesome idea of a 70s period piece for Blade, hunting down Dracula. It was a really cool idea. We obviously know Maya Goth, who's going to be playing in the movie. She's reportedly supposed to be playing Lilith, which Lilith and Dracula, she is the daughter of Dracula, so maybe an interaction there. Maybe they both can be the big bads of the supernatural saga, I'm guessing. Um, and then Doctor Strange, Kaden had an awesome idea with Doctor Strange creating a new sword for Blade and then enchanting the sword. The old sword may have been damaged by Lilith. Um, then Eddie had some awesome ideas about the Howling Commandos. I'm gonna get to your comments. You said Andrew Garfield Spider Man, RDJ Spider Man in the same movie, dude. I think it's gonna happen with Secret Wars. We're gonna see that happen. Kaden, you said, I really hope you have an amazing birthday next week, man. May the next year bring many blessings. Thank you, man. Thank you. Are you writing it at Marvel Studios? I wish. It's just a little idea that I decided to do. Just kind of like with you guys. I obviously have no affiliation with Marvel, or I don't even know anyone who works at Marvel. So these are kind of just some ideas that we're just, putting together, putting our heads together, and just coming up with some possible ideas that a Blade movie could have, what we envision a Blade movie to be. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you. So some other ideas Eddie had was the Howling Commandos, Dugan setting up the Shield Universal Monsters. We have the Howling Commandos. A Howling Commandos Disney Plus special presentation was an idea. Howling Commandos team could be Man Thing, Werewolf, Vampire by Night, and Hit Monkey. Maybe the Hit Monkey show could maybe join the MCU canon and have him joining the Howling Commandos. Dugan could definitely be the lead of the Howling Commandos in a Captain America sort of role. Blade being the leader of the Midnight Suns, he's going to maybe try to assemble the team and maybe a post-credit scene after Blade. Maybe he talks to Moon Knight. That was sort of an idea. Blade's interaction maybe with his family. Does he have a girlfriend? Does he have a wife? Does he have kids? What would be the case for that? And then a setting idea, maybe some dynamic lighting. We have some like red lighting in certain fight scenes to kind of give that subtleness and menacing feel to Blade. Maybe there could be like the red lights glowing at the Empire State Building as well to kind of just set the tone that this is a very like horror-esque film with supernatural elements. Were you born in the 2000s? Yes. I was born in 2001. So yeah, September 18th, 2001 is when I was born. So I'm currently 22, not 2022, 22 years old. I'll be 23 next month on, not next month, next week on Wednesday. So the 18th. So yeah, I'm a 2000s kid. But honestly, I feel like I've been here a lot longer than the 2000s. I think that might be the old soul in me speaking, but if you have an old soul and things of that nature, you kind of know that feeling that you feel like you've been here for a long time. It feels like I've been here for a long time. Um, thank you again, Alexander. I still have no idea what to do for my birthday, but I'm pretty sure I'll figure out something. Yeah, I really appreciate all the birthday wishes. So if you, like I said, Alexander, if you have any ideas for the Blade movie, let me know and I'll write them down and we'll go from there because there's a lot of great ideas and a lot of interesting ideas for not just the Blade movie, but for the Supernatural Saga, if Marvel is going to call it that, which I have a feeling that Marvel will probably call it the Supernatural Saga. Maybe the mutant and Supernatural Saga, but maybe that might be too long. Maybe just Supernatural. And I think Eddie he made a point with the X-Men being, the Celestials, dealing with the Celestials. and that's sort of like supernatural. So they could just combine all of that into one. But I know people would probably want it to be the Mutant Saga. So the Mutant and Supernatural Saga is probably going to be the name. Kind of like how DC has Gods and Monsters. Which, if you think about it, Gods and Monsters is kind of like Mutant and Supernatural, but like you had the likes of Superman, monsters being creature commandos, things of that nature. So you see what DC, the theme that DC has going, and we're probably going to see something similar with the Mutant and Supernatural saga. You were born in 1999. Awesome. That is a cool year to be born. Uh, I'm definitely not going to say party like it's 1999, even though I just did, but I'm pretty sure you'll get the reference. Um, shout out to Prince. Shout out to Prince. Yeah. Also, I've been wanting to say that I want to thank you guys for all of the support and stuff on the videos that I've been doing recently. Uh, I know you guys have been enjoying the content. It seems like you guys have been enjoying the content, and I've been enjoying making it. The react down to the reactions, down to the videos in between. Like I honestly didn't think the Minecraft story mode video was actually gonna do that well. To be honest with you, um, it was a project that I had heard someone had shared with me, and I was like, you know what? I want to do a video on this because with the Minecraft movie, which I knew you guys enjoyed that reaction to the Minecraft movie. Um, Maybe that's something we could talk about on a separate stream. But when I heard about that project, I was like, you know what? This could be interesting. And then when I did the reaction to it, and I saw like the love and dedication that was put into that Minecraft story mode remake, I was like, I just I was amazed, and I'm glad I made that video. I'm really glad I made that video. Brought awareness to an awesome passion project. If you guys haven't, definitely check out that reaction and go check out everybody involved with that, the block by block. Very talented animator. She's a 16-year-old who's animating this as well, which is amazing. So try to support try to support the youth, try to support our young animators because they're the future. We're the future, so we gotta try to support them and try to keep them up. I think of it like across the Spider Verse with Lego Me, 14-year-old kid, and he's doing these Lego animations, and it's just really amazing seeing him do all these Lego animations. And I hope he comes back for Beyond the Spider Verse because I would love to see more of his Lego animations in the movie. But again, inspire the youth. Keep the youth going. They're the future, and there's so much talent. There's so much ability to do different things, and art. I feel like art now has become more and more limitless because there's again so much you can do. And I want to try as best as I can to bring awareness to a lot of artists and a lot of passion projects to try to keep that awareness and that positivity and that sort of thing going. But yeah, you are a 90s kid or 2000s. I'd say you are both because I mean you were born in the 90s, but you kind of you lived your life through the 2000s, so there's a lot of things from the 90s you don't really remember, but there's a lot of things from the 2000s you remember. But really, in all honesty, I feel like if you were born in the 2000s, I feel like you were able to at least have a little tad of an experience with the 90s as far as like commercials, certain TV shows that were still on in the 2000s. Because I mean, like Johnny Bravo was in the 90s, that was still around in the 2000s. A lot of the Nickelodeon shows were still around and kicking it in the 2000s. So a lot of the things that 90 kids got to experience, we sort of got to experience. It's just a 10-year difference, in my opinion. I feel like things didn't really start to change until like 2010. 2010, I think, became like a different era where things started to change, and a lot of the things that we once knew and grew up with as a kid are went away. They phased out, and now they're slowly coming back years later. Like your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at one point was kind of at a slow point, and then it came back. It started to come back, and now we have and now we have so many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics, games, movies, TV shows, all that. Same with Transformers. They just released a Transformers anime by a Studio Trigger, right? I think it's Studio Trigger. Yeah, Studio Trigger. Like they just released a anime short for that. Transformers 1. I've been hearing good reception for Transformers 1, so I'm definitely going to check out that movie. So, all we need now to complete the trifecta is Power Rangers. If we get a new Power Rangers show, an animated show, a video game, or something, the trifecta is complete. You know, for growing up as a kid, you were either a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, you were a Transformers fan, you were a Power Rangers fan, or you were all three. That's just how it was. And luckily for you, if you were all three, you won automatically. Yeah, Lego Me is he's very talented. It's not yeah, it's honestly surreal seeing as we get older, seeing 14 to 16-year-old kids making these amazing animations nowadays. I'm so glad that this generation hasn't lost its drive. Exactly. Like that's why I say we gotta continue to support and encourage the younger generations because they're doing some amazing things right in front of us. And sometimes we get so caught up in the old days. Sometimes we get so caught up in the classic days, the days that we were kids, that we don't realize that these are kids growing up, that they're doing some things, amazing things right in front of us, and we're not paying attention to it because we're so focused on the past, not focused on the now. I remember watching the old Nickelodeon show and old cartoons, Cartoon Network shows. Yeah, like I said, like we had so much growing up, and even now, like there's some things that we have now that I'm sure kids, are gonna look back on. Shows like Bluey. I've never watched Bluey, but I'm sure there's gonna be kids who, when they have those weird random conversations, because in high school you always had those weird random nostalgic conversations where it's like, you remember that one show that used to come on about the dogs, or you remember the one show that was based off of, I didn't know it was based off of a manga series that turned into an anime. Like there's gonna be those conversations, and I'm sure if you were in high school or you're in school, you've probably already had those, conversations already. And those are oftentimes end up being the best conversations because you all were there in that moment to witness it and to experience it. Same with music. You know, I was in a community club called Junior Civitan, and we would have these dance-a-thons every single year. And it would be kids all over the world, all over the states. And when you went to this event, it was just so amazing because there were so many kids and teenagers your age, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, and all that. And it was just a very fun experience seeing everybody sing to the same songs, dance to the same dances. He's like, "Yeah, wait a minute, you know that dance?" I'm like, "Yeah, we do that dance back at home." And it's like, "Really, we do that dance?" So it's kind of like it's a great connection, music, and I always say it. Music is one of the greatest ways to connect people in this day and age, and even back in the day, very very much had a way of connecting people. And I even say that now with movies. Even though I do feel like there over the years there's become a toxic fan base of movie fans and movie connoisseurs, But I do feel like movies are still have that effect on people where you can sit down and talk about the different movies and things of that nature and just have that connection. That's true. I remember someone made a point talking about how back in the day, late 90s, early 2000s studios were making realistic looking CG animation, live action crossover films like Garfield. Yeah. And you see how a lot of them turned out. Some of them were able to kind of, push their way through. Some of them didn't. Um, and it just all depended on who made it, who did what, and it worked out. But now you're seeing a lot of animated stuff now, where these companies are starting to turn a lot of animated shows into live action projects, and are some of them are successful, some of them are not, and that's just a testament to not everything has to be put in a live action setting. The charm for a lot of things in animation is the reason why it is in that art form, because there's a lot of charm that you can do with animation. There's a lot Animation is limitless. And that's why I'm hoping Marvel will do more, which I'm sure they will. Marvel will do more animated projects because there's a lot more they can do. They won't be able to do all the crazy things because that's just the way it is. There's limits to CGI. Iron Man Armored Adventures. I'm guessing you're referring to the show. I haven't seen it, but nowadays it seems like more CGI movies that came out are being made in a really cartoony style compared to how they tried to back in the day. Futuristic movies like Yogi, yeah, like the Sonic movies. Now, obviously, the beginning of Sonic wasn't that good. I mean, the ugly Sonic. I mean, who doesn't remember the ugly Sonic? I mean, everybody remembers it. Everybody complained about it. This isn't it. This ain't it, Chief. They delayed the movie. They went back and restructured the entire designs of Sonic, and I'm sure they redesigned Tails too. I could only imagine what Tails would have looked like at the end. And now we got the characters. They look cartoony, like Knuckles. I mean, we had the Knuckles series. Now we got Sonic 3 with Shadow coming in. I mean, and who knows what other characters we might see. You never know. They might surprise us and give us Amy or Rogue or whatever other characters that we just weren't expecting to show up in the movie. Green Lantern is going to be good. Did you do a video on the upcoming Green Lantern movie? I haven't. I have been seeing talks about the Lantern series, if that's what you're referring to. And I'm invested in the Lanterns because Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan working together in like a true detective style show. When James Gunn said true detective style, you got me right then and there. When you said true detective, I like true detective, so I was hooked right then. You got me sold. So I know they're doing casting right now. They're trying to figure out who to play Hal Jordan, who to play Jon Stewart. There's an actor that I know of, Aaron Pere. I think that's his name. And I just watched a movie with him on Netflix this weekend. A new movie called, what is it called? Rebel? It's called Rebel something. Rebel Ridge. That's the movie Rebel Ridge on Netflix. If you guys haven't seen that movie, definitely go check it out. The actor in that movie, he kills it. He's amazing. So I understand why people have a fan casting for him to play Jon Stewart. Now, as far as me agreeing with that, I don't really know. I don't know about him playing Jon Stewart, but I would like to see him play someone in either Marvel or DC. As far as who he could be, that's something I'd have to think about. But I see the fan casting. I just don't think, for me personally, I just don't see him as Jon Stewart. But I do see him as possibly another character. Yeah, man. What Sonic? What is that Sonic, bro? Yeah. Do you know Black Nerd Comedy? Yes, I know who Black Nerd Comedy is. I follow him as well. He just did a reaction today to the new Venom trailer. So yeah, I know who Black Nerd is. Watched him for years. I watched him on his gaming channel as well. Pretty cool guy. I'm hoping one day it would be cool to collab with him. There's a lot of YouTubers that hopefully when I get to that level, I would love to collab with. Not just in just, just this, but also like wrestling, different other YouTube spaces because I like wrestling. I like a little bit of sports, a little bit of everything. So for me, I would like to collab with a lot of people in this YouTube space in the future. Yeah, yeah, he does really he does great reviews. Let's see, what old Cartoon Network show or old Cartoon Network, old Nickelodeon show and old Cartoon Network show you remember? Honestly, a lot of them. King Flame. I remember a lot of them. I could list. I could again for both. I could do a long list. So yeah, just know I know and remember a lot of shows, even some hidden gems, even some hidden gems on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon that don't really get talked about as much. Have you collabed yet? I actually haven't. I haven't collabed yet with anyone. I would like to. Um, so if there maybe one day, like I said, it'd be cool to like collab with some Marvel YouTubers in the space at some point. Talk about the different movies, the phase, upcoming projects, things of that nature. If there's any, if there's any YouTubers out there that would, like to collab or anything, I'm down. Um, when did you start YouTube? I started YouTube in 2022. I want to make sure because I've been doing this for 2 years, which is insane to think about. I've been doing YouTube for 2 years. But yeah, I started YouTube in 2022. My first ever video, if you want to go all the way back, I have a phone call. I'll get to that later. But if you want to know, um, my first ever YouTube video was about the Cuphead show because I'm a big Cuphead fan. So I did this long 16-minute video talking about the Cuphead show. Why did it take me 16 minutes? I will never understand that. Again, I was starting out. I was starting out on YouTube. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I just was rambling a lot in that video. And I look back at that video and I'm like, I could have definitely cut a lot of things and cut down the time. Um, for that video. And even some of my videos after were like 10 minutes. And I'm like, there's no way I'm doing these at 10 minutes. And it's only on one specific topic. Now, I did do a video recently that was 9 minutes on Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man. And that was like 9 minutes because there's a lot of information that came out about the show. And I wanted to try to get all of it condensed down into one video. So then there's random times where I do sort of things like that, but yeah, I think I have somebody at my door, so I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. So I'm not gonna lie, I actually really enjoy your lengthy videos as well. Really. So if you want me to do more lengthy videos, definitely let me know. But I'll be right back. I got someone at my door. I'm back. Hopefully, you guys haven't left. We'll try to get back to what you were saying. All right. Let's see. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy. Okay, you enjoy my lengthy videos. They're really entertaining to the point that they don't even seem lengthy, to be honest. Really? Okay. So maybe I need to start doing more lengthy videos. If that's what you guys like, I'll try to do more lengthy videos like that. Um, who was it? It was just a neighbor. It was just a neighbor. That's what it was. So yeah. Oh, I'm back. It happened again. All right, cool. So yeah, I'll try to do more lengthy type videos. But yeah, looking back at my YouTube channel, it's kind of insane because I tried to do a mix of so many, like so much different content. Do neighbors know you're a YouTuber? They actually don't. Obviously, people who went to school with me, who follow me on Instagram, I post a lot of my videos and stuff on there and share them. So there's a lot of people from school who know that I do YouTube. But as far as like, I haven't really had an interaction where people would come up to me and say like, "Hey, I know you from YouTube." So I'm not really that well known. I'm sure I will be, and I'm sure if someone saw me, you know, at maybe like a bigger city or something where people watch me, I'm sure someone would be like, "Hey, I know you. I know you from YouTube." I'm like, "What's up?" And I'm like, I'm very chill. Like I'm, sometimes you see some people online and they seem like really chill people, and then they turn out to be not what you expect. I'm not like that. I'm like the same person that I am now, like talking to you guys. I'm the same way when you meet me. I'm just like a very chill guy. I can be very quiet at times, but if you like have a conversation, I'll like talk with you and things like that. So yeah, yeah, I was doing so much different kinds of content, and at that time, I was like a very very small channel. I'm still a very small channel now, but I remember times like not even getting like 20 views on videos, and that would at that time that would excite me because of the fact that I got 20 people. Then when you get more, you start to stress yourself out about why certain videos didn't succeed. And that happens sometimes now, every now and then, but sometimes it's like the algorithm, certain times the algorithm it'll work with you, and then certain times the algorithm just says, you know what, I'm not working with you today. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way YouTube is, and that's okay. um because usually sometimes your older videos will build up people viewing it later on, and you don't even realize that. So I think it's a good tip to anyone: don't feel bad about the videos that don't do well, because you when you grow an audience, those videos will get crazy recommended to you at like another time. And sometimes you'll have a video that gets so highly recommended that it blows up, and you're like, wait a minute, why did this video go crazy? Like I did this like 2 years ago. So you honestly never know, and that's happened before with a lot of YouTubers, and that's how a lot of people get introduced to a lot of YouTubers, because of those old videos getting recommended. Do you know Chainsaw Reacts? I don't. I actually don't know who Chainsaw Reacts is. I'm sure they do reaction videos, but what kind of things do they react to? Because I know a lot of reaction channels. Some react to music, some like if say for example like a new rap song just came out. Some will break down the double entendres, the triple entendres, the haymakers, all those rapology terms. I watch a lot of guys who do that. Then there's some who react to movie trailers, TV shows. Then you have some that react to Try Not to Laugh and meme compilations. So, what exactly do they do? A lot, mostly. Shows like Ben 10 and live streams. He has a room full of people. Okay, let me look them up. Actually, let me look them up. Chainsaw reactions. You said right? Chainsaw reactions. Chainsaw reacts. You know what? I've actually seen his I've seen this guy, his thumbnails, I should say. I never clicked on one of his videos. But you know what? I'll have to check out his content. Yeah, because I see he did a video for James Earl Jones. Rest in peace to James Earl Jones, iconic voice of Darth Vader, the King of Zamunda, coming to America. A very iconic actor. Um, he will be missed. Okay, he did X-Men Evolution. Okay, yeah, I'll check him out. I'll check him out. Yeah, let's subscribe to him. Yeah, he even did a yeah, he did a short talking about the PS5 Pro, which by the way, there's no reason for the PS5 Pro to be $700. There is no way the PS5 Pro is $700. And here's the thing about that. They not only is it $700, but if you're a physical media collector like I am, who buys physical games, movies, and all of that, you have to pay an additional $80 for a freaking CD-ROM. I mean, not a CD-ROM, but a DVD to add the DVD part section to it for the physical. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, disk drive. It's crazy to me the fact that they don't include that. And you know what else doesn't come with it? The stand. So if you want the vertical stand, that's an extra amount of money that you have to pay for it. So let's add this all up together. So say if you were a kid and you wanted your parents to buy you a new PlayStation Pro. Your parents have to think about one, why is the system $700? Two, why do I have to pay an extra for a disk drive? Three, why do I have to pay extra for a vertical stand? And then on top of that, if it doesn't come with a controller, which I think it comes with a controller, then you have to spend an extra $100 for games. That's over $1,000 collectively. Who on Sony, who on PlayStation thought that was a good idea to charge that much for a console? It's ridiculous. Like, what they should have done, and I know that these companies are trying to move away from the physical era. They're saying it's the digital era. I don't like the whole digital era thing. Physical media will always reign supreme for me because when you have physical media, you are able to buy the game and play the game for as long as you want to. Because, say, if the company that has the game no longer has rights to the game, they can no longer have it. Now you face a situation where the game is going to be removed off the store and you can't play it anymore. But you can have the physical disc of the game that you want to play and still be able to play it. That's why physical media is so important. And you know what else you can do? If you didn't want the game anymore, you could buy it. You can sell it to a friend. If your friend wanted to borrow the game to beat it, you could give them the game. Just physical media has so many more pros than digital media, in my honest opinion. I think digital media needs to continue to stay alive. Yeah, what? Yeah, they probably want it more than PS5. Yeah, like to me, the initial price for the PlayStation Pro in my eyes should have been at least 550. $550 at the max, in my opinion. If not 550, at least maybe 600. But the fact that they charge 700 for it, and then again you have to pay extra, it's ridiculous. Gaming is becoming more and more expensive. Do you mean thumb drive? I see what you did there. Thumb drive. I don't know if that was supposed to be a joke. Shouldn't it come in the PlayStation 5 Pro box? Yeah, like it you would think that it would come, but if you look at that commercial that they put out, they say in small text, and that's why with commercials you always got to read the small text because they won't tell you everything unless you read the blog post that they put out. But if you don't read the blog post, they always have down at the bottom in small writing, and it said PlayStation. It said vertical stand not included. So you're paying $700, but you don't even have the audacity to include the vertical stand at least. That is a ripoff. And a lot of people are upset about that, and I don't blame them. I really don't. Hopefully, PlayStation can make that wrong or right and change the price. Because right now, PlayStation really doesn't have new games that would really incentivize you really getting the PlayStation Pro unless you really want it that bad and you're that rich enough and you have a job where you're able to get it. But I just don't see it worth buying right now. When their PlayStation 6 comes out, when there's some games, that comes out, around that era, I could see maybe going into getting a PlayStation 5 Pro for that. But as far as right now, I just don't think it's worth your buck. Yeah, you shouldn't pay extra for nothing. Yeah, it should. Exactly. I mean, I get the game, so you play what you like. But a thumb drive, what a disk drive? Yeah, a disk drive. A disk drive is a little compartment where you're able to put in the physical disc to play the game. And another thing, scalpers. We all know scalpers are just they don't care. They will buy up things in a heartbeat and sell it on eBay for twice and triple the price because they don't care. It's happening now with the disk drives. The disk drives are sold out on Amazon. And you know what these people are doing? They're selling the disk drives for double and triple the price on eBay. Because they know people, when that PS5 Pro comes out, people are going to want the disk drive for those who do want the physical. Now they gotta pay $200 on eBay just to get one because a scalper took all of them. That's what happened with the PlayStation 5s. Remember during the pandemic when we had, can I say pandemic still? I feel like we can. Nothing really happens. But during that era, when PlayStation 5 was coming out, remember people were trying to get their hands on one. They were all sold out everywhere because the scalpers bought a lot of them, a good majority of them, and sold them on eBay for triple the price. They didn't care the fact that people were going through a hard time. They didn't care about the fact that people were going through a pandemic. They said, I'm a scalper. I'm going to do this because it's in high demand. And whenever something's in high demand, why not take the opportunity to scam people? And that's what these people are. They're scammers. So yeah, that's another thing to take into consideration. Yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like the Xbox, PlayStations, yeah, they were sold out, and it was because the scalpers were taking them, and like I said, putting them on eBay for people who were gullible enough, for people who were that desperate enough to buy it for triple the price of the amount that they could get by just getting it on Amazon, getting it at GameStop. Rather, you go to GameStop. I've had some experiences at GameStop, so I couldn't really prefer you to go there. So yeah, but you know, I just and these companies know that this stuff happens, but it's like they don't do anything about it really. It's kind of like, well, it's out of our hands now. What can we really do about it? But it's like it's your product. If you want people to buy your stuff, you should be able to take more initiative to try to prevent scalpers and grifters and those kind of people, taking, all the benefits, the fruits of the benefits of other people's labor and taking it to their advantage. What's up, Alexander? Welcome back. But yeah, I just hope, and I know there's gonna be people who are going to just want to get the PlayStation 5 Pro just because it's a new PlayStation. But again, I just don't think it's worth the time. I just don't think it's worth the money. If you have PlayStation 5, I think you're good. Again, just wait until PlayStation 6 when there's some good PlayStation 6 titles. And then when you want to make that upgrade, I'd say get the PS5 Pro then. Let's see, what are we on for time? 2 hours and 41 minutes. Oh wow. Another 2 hour stream. That's is awesome. It doesn't feel that long. So maybe you guys are kind of right. When we're all like having discussions and stuff. It doesn't feel like it's been 2 hours, but it's been a pretty cool 2 hours. I mean, we got a Blade script, which I'll definitely screenshot and share on social media and things of that nature. If you guys want to, check it out, and if you guys want to check it out or kind of save it for your own thing, I think that'd be cool. And like I said, when we do the next, we got the script next month. I want to after this stream, I'm gonna try to do a vote of different projects. Some that we know are coming out, some that we might not have been biggest fans of, and we'll kind of go to a vote, and then we'll do that particular subject next month. Bro, that would be an amazing script. If there's anything I can think of to help, possibly, I'll let you know if that's fine. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, because I'm going to save this. It's saved. So if you guys have any ideas at any time, it doesn't matter. Just shoot me some ideas. And I'll add them to the post. We'll just keep adding on ideas. So again, if you guys have any more ideas, let me know. And I'll put them down. And that goes for any of any of the things that we talk about even further. So yeah, so I do have some ideas. I got a video idea. I have a video that I might be recording right after this about Beyond the Spider Verse. There's been some news for that. Beyond the Spider Verse is not scrapped. There was a big rumor about that, so I'm definitely gonna try to make a video about that, and that's gonna come out tomorrow. And then I'm gonna do a all things Spidey stream because I know we got some news with Spider-Man 4. We got some news with your friend neighbor Spider-Man, and also the Beyond the Spider-Verse. Kind of having a discussion with you guys about all of that. So that stream may either be this weekend or sometime next week. I'll let you know. Um, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I'm going to try to do? As of right now, no. Those are the two ideas that I have set in stone to do. But I do have some more video ideas that I am working on, that I am trying to, get the information for you guys. So I got plenty of content coming. Oh, did you know that Jack Black was supposed to be in the scrap Green Lantern movie? I did not know that. I did not. It seems like Jack Black is everywhere, or he's been everywhere. Because I mean, he's gonna be Steve. He's Bowser. He was in the Borderlands movie. I mean, Jack Black is everywhere. I mean, we had Kung Fu Panda, which is crazy to think about. Kung Fu Panda came out this year. It's not really been talked about that much. It's kind of one of those movies that it came out, the hype was there, and then it kind of just wasn't talked about after. Um, School of Rock. Yeah, it was School of Rock. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if there is like a School of Rock, another School of Rock, sometime or another. Maybe they could do one with all the cast that's grown up now. Because I mean, let's see, who's all the cast that was in that movie? Not now. Let's see, cast. Like obviously we got Jack Black, we got Miranda Cosgrove. Um, a lot of the people in this movie are still active actors. Well, we can't. Well, they couldn't have David Bowie appear because sadly David Bowie passed. Um, yeah, so there's still a lot of active actors who are still doing stuff. So if they wanted to do another School of Rock movie, they could. Mike White was the director. Is he still around? Let's see, Mike White. I'm sure he is. Yeah, he is. Oh, he directed the movie Migration, and obviously Nacho Libre. I remember Nacho Libre, The White Lotus, which I've been hearing The White Lotus was a good show to watch. He wait, Despicable. He did Despicable Me 4. That's interesting. The Dark Knight. Yeah, Mike White has a lot of Mike White has done a lot of shows and movies. And yeah, and Jumanji. Wow. Let's see. School of Rock was so nostalgic, and man, I even loved his rock group. He had Tenacious D. Yeah, Tenacious D is still a thing. I think they broke up recently. I think there's something that happened with that. I'm sure um, you guys have heard about that. Oh yeah, because the actual director Mike White actually played. He actually played Ned in the movie. That's right. He played a character in the movie. Yeah. Shout out to School of Rock. Um, so yeah, do you guys have any other things that you want to add to the Blade movie? Um, Professor, what's up, Professor Palm? Welcome. I was just about to end the stream, crazy enough, but I'll stay around for a few minutes since you're here. Yeah, Jack Black's friend and roommate in the movie. All good, Professor. All good. Like I said, I'll stick around for I'll stick around for a few minutes. Yeah, I don't mind. Go to 3 hours. Okay, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go to 3 hours. I'll do it. Um, you know what's crazy about Jack Black? What? They did have funny music back in the day when I was younger. It's surprising how many alternate castings there could have been like how Chris Farley was supposed to voice Shrek. Yeah, when you look at, there's a lot of interesting castings that were done back in the day that you don't really know about until you watch videos or read about it. Like before they got Johnny Depp to play Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, there's like a lot of names that were thrown around. Like Will Smith was even thrown around to play Willy Wonka at one point in that movie, which is wild. Um, there's a lot of people who were supposed to play do the voice of Sonic. There's like a long list of names. I gotta see if I can find it. So Sonic the Hedgehog cast. Uh, what would that be named under? Under cast. Uh, Potential casts. Would that be potential casts? Potential casts. There's like a whole list. I need to find out where I can find it. But there's like a whole list of people who are supposed to play Sonic's role. There's a whole list of people who are supposed to play James Marsden's role. People who turned down the role. I okay, it's on IMDb. Where can I find it on IMDb? Yeah, like you, Nicolas Cage was supposed to be in a scrapped Superman movie. Yeah, and that was supposed to be in the same universe as Michael Keaton's Batman. Michael Myers was Shrek. He was Bowser, and now he's Steve. Like, yeah, when you look back at things, when you see like certain people, um, okay, trivia section on the person. Okay, Sonic. So if I look up Sonic movie on IMDb, let's see. Um, thank you for that tip. I actually did not think about that. I'm sure. Yeah. Let's see. Top cast, cast and crew, storyline, trivia. Here we go. Trivia. Disney Plus ad. Let's see. I know this is supposed to be a Blade story, but I can't help but I really want to see a static movie or even TV series. If only Arrowverse was still a thing. Shame they destroyed that. I'm sure we'll get a Static Shock movie in the DCU, in the new DCU, I'm sure. Um, just gotta figure out when and where they're gonna do it. And I'm sure they will, because I mean, I think a Teen Titans movie is gonna come at some point. So we're gonna get it. It's just figuring out the problem. I know if you look at the actor or actress and then the trivia, you can see what they turned down. You know what? I did not know this. So take a listen to this. So Ben Schwartz, obviously he voices Sonic, but he also provides facial motion capture for Sonic. I didn't know that. I did not know that. So that's definitely new to me. Um, I'm trying to see if there's some other facts in this film. Like, yeah, we obviously know the film got delayed after the backlash of the design. We knew that. Ben Schwartz recorded a harmonized version of the famous Sega chant that unfortunately didn't make it into the film. Interesting. He voiced in 2017 DuckTales. Yeah, Ben Schwartz is a very talented voice actor. Shout out to the voice actors out there. John Travolta, no way. And Forrest Gump is one of my favorite movies too. I did not know that John Travolta turned that down. Wow. And you know what else? I found out that uh, before Tupac passed, they were actually going to consider Tupac to play Bubba in Forrest Gump, which sounds wild, but I wonder how that would have worked out. There's a funny theory about Ben Schwartz's character from Parks and Recreations. What's the theory? Oh dang, the redesigns to Sonic cost an additional $5 million and caused the VFX studio Moving Picture Company to close down its Vancouver studio. Wow. The sacrifice they made to redesign Sonic. Because they, let's see, the character Steve Harrington is his father, is the theory. Hmm. I haven't seen Stranger Things. I haven't seen Stranger Things, so I can't say. But that is an interesting theory. Man, imagine if Will Smith was in the Matrix. He was supposed to be. I didn't know that. But you know what? That would have been really cool too. That would have been really cool because the action learned well. At least the movie was good. Tom Cruise might be the Iron Man in the upcoming Avengers. He was supposed to be Iron Man, not RDJ. I think he turned it down. Yeah, I do see him coming. I hope he is. I think it would be cool if he's superior Iron Man. I think it would be cool. It would be cool to see him as a different version. And there's another actor who was supposed to play a Marvel character that never got a chance to. Well, obviously, Channing Tatum, as of recently, Channing Tatum was supposed to play Gambit in a solo movie, and it never worked out. But, he finally got his chance to, make a name for himself. So, hopefully he'll make a name for himself pretty soon. We'll have to see. Yeah, he would have been cool in that. Disney bought yeah, Marvel RDJ back. Disney bought RDJ back and they're gonna make him do it till he's I see what you did there, yeah. That's like even now like that casting is still that has to be one of the most confusing castings. Cause I'm like, okay, like Doctor Doom. Alright, so Doctor Doom, is he a version of Iron Man? Like, what's going on here? So we're gonna find out exactly, is he a version of Iron Man? Is he just a version of Doom? Because he's not. I don't think he's gonna be the MCU Doom. I feel like they're gonna cast right after Secret Wars. I feel like they're gonna cast someone else's Doom, and I think Killian Murphy would be perfect for Doctor Doom. So hopefully they get him to play Doctor Doom after Secret Wars. We'll have to see. It's probably, you say it's probably, if they If you think about it, they actually did that. Eddie Murphy turned down the role of Eddie Valiant and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I see. I didn't even know that. You guys are giving me a lot of movie history that I didn't even know. Like some of the castings I heard about, but then there's some where I'm like, I did not know this. Yeah, they did at 90. You know what? Dick Van Dyke is still alive and kicking it. So shout out to him. It's probably Iron Man after his powers are taken away. So do you think this might be a situation? Because I know there's a situation kind of similar to this that happened in the comics, but not fully accurate to it. So do you think it's going to be one of those situations, or do you think this is going to be like a new original take on the just the Doom? I have a feeling it might be a new original take, but we'll have to see. In the baseball scene, Sonic's running animation when running at high speeds and the baseball diamond looks strikingly similar to Sonic CD's pencil test animation. Hmm, that's a really cool reference. I didn't really notice that. Will Smith turned down The Matrix. Hmm. If I ever ask him one day, because I have his book and I've read it. Really good read. I suggest reading. If you guys haven't, definitely read Will Smith's book because it's really good. But I wonder why he turned down The Matrix. Matt Damon turned down Jake Sully for Avatar, where the power goes out. Hmm. The internet where the power goes out. Did your power go out? Are you okay? That happened on one of my streams actually. One time, I was talking. I think it was Deadpool Wolverine. We were talking on my second channel, and the lights just went completely out. I was like, "Whoa, that's the end of that stream." No, I was talking about the Sonic scene. Oh, yeah. The baseball scene. That's right, because the lights do go out. Because he literally runs so fast, the lights, the power of the lights go out. Yeah. Yeah. The film was originally filmed. The film was originally set to be filmed in Atlanta, but was changed to Vancouver. Interesting. Did not know that. Oh, Tom Selleck turned down Indiana Jones. Hmm. The first one. Okay. Interesting. Here we go. Yeah, Paul Rudd. There we go. Paul Rudd was actually one of the people considered to be James Marsden's character in Sonic. He was considered. So yeah, that was him. That's one thing right there. There was a Chris Pratt was also on there too. Chris Pratt was another one that was supposed to be the cop. He has a name. Why I keep saying the cop? He has a name. Tom. The most simplest name you can name anyone, Tom. Let's see. I believe it was because Will Smith said he was tired of doing sci-fi movies at the time, like Independence Day and Men in Black. Understandable. He was doing a lot of sci-fi movies then too. Henry Winkler turned down Grease. Hmm. All the casting facts that you guys are giving me are is really making me want to look up a lot of movies and stuff about certain actors that were cast in certain parts or had talks of being in certain movies but didn't work out, or another movie came up. So that's definitely something I'm going to look more into. So I don't know, maybe if you guys want, maybe something like that, maybe like a little series where I can go into the different actors that were supposed to do certain roles but didn't work out, or they were just considered. I could definitely do something like that. If I had a nickel for every time James Marsden was in a movie with CGI animals as a sidekick, I'd have 3 nickels. It's not too much, but it's kind of crazy. It's happened 3 times. It is crazy to think about that. It really is. Something about James Marsden and animals. But hey, I guess it's I guess he likes doing movies with animalistic characters. That might be something that might be like a therapy for him. He was in the movie with Steve Martin. That's right. Yeah. What was the name of that movie? Let's see if I can look it up. I'm on IMDb now. Yeah, it says upcoming, and Sonic 3 is it's in post production right now. Let's see. Cheaper by that's it. Cheaper by the dozen. Because they had 12 kids that all lived in the house. Because they had 2 movies. Because one, I think the second movie had the guy from Twilight. And I only know the guy from Twilight because I was in school. You were either Team Jacob or Team Edward. If you were a girl or whatever. That was a big thing in school. And a lot of girls would be, going back and forth. Team Jacob, Team Edward. So, that's the only reason I knew the actor from that. And also, he played a Shark Boy in Shark Boy and Lava Girl. So, it's also another things, too. So, yeah. Enchanted, Hop, and Sonic. That's 3. Yeah. Like I said, I would imagine that those kind of movies probably are like therapy for him, or maybe just coincidentally they just so happen to have animals in them, and he just so happens to act in those movies. So, yeah, yeah, Taylor Lautner, yeah, that's his name. Yeah, and he James Marsden was a Marvel. He played Cyclops, which I feel like they didn't give his Cyclops any justice. I wish they would have done more with his Cyclops because I feel like in those movies he wasn't able to be the leader like he was supposed to. Wolverine was the leader in those movies, and I love Wolverine. I love Wolverine, but I honestly feel like they focus too much on Wolverine when it's supposed to be the X Men. There's so many different X Men characters that could have had a focus in movies and that just didn't get the shine to. Adam Sandler is good. Yeah, he's good. Uh, you know, Adam Sandler movies, Grown Ups, Happy Gilmore, which we're getting Happy Gilmore 2. I think they just started filming for that. Waterboy, a lot of great Adam Sandler movies. Man, I hated that Twilight craze when I was in middle school. It was the same when Justin Bieber appeared. It was Bieber fever. Man, the early 2010s were crazy. Yeah, Bieber, Justin Bieber. You had New Direction. You had the Team Jacob, Team Edward. You had what was that? I can't remember the name of that boy band that came out. There was a One Direction. There was another boy band that came out. Was it 5 Seconds of Summer? I think it was 5 Seconds of Summer. I think that was the name of the band. And there was another boy band too that I was very popular around that time. And then obviously you had the Black Eyed Peas. You had Will I Am, uh, things of that nature. So yeah, that there it was a the 2010s. It was a period that was a very interesting one in terms of music. Like Maroon Five, I like Maroon Five. Um, like Moves Like Jagger, Maps, a lot of good songs from Maroon Five. I listen to every now and then. Animals, yeah, a lot of good songs. Then you had like Fallout Boy. I mean, Fallout Boy still exists. You got them. Let's see. What I'm trying to think. What other bands were out at that time? Bands in 2010. We'll just look up bands. You had 21 Pilots. That was a period when 21 Pilots. That was like a big period. Like I said, Fallout Boy, One Direction, Foo Fighters. Shout out to the Foo Fighters. Panic at the Disco. That was another big band. Green Day, Deftones, which I notice now Deftones are very popular now. Linkin Park, can't go wrong with Linkin Park. Um, Radiohead. I mean, there's a lot of bands and stuff. Mm-hmm. And still is a lot of bands even now. Paramore. I remember Paramore being very big in middle school as well. Oh yeah, that band played songs that yeah they did play songs for Big Hero 6, and it came out 3 days after your eighth birthday. That's wow. That's wow. I said that's wow. That's wild. But that's really cool. Yeah, Old Town Road. I was in high school when that song came out, and it was played everywhere. Everywhere I heard that song. Another song that got played everywhere was Happy by Pharrell Williams. I could not go anywhere without hearing that song. I would go to the store, pick up some Cheetos, and I would hear that song. Get in the car, turn on the radio, I would hear that song. Go to a family function, I would hear that song. It was everywhere. And that's what happens with most popular songs. No matter how many times you hear them, they're everywhere. It's insane. And they do that with a lot of songs. And I'm sure they do that with a lot of songs now. I haven't listened to the radio and I don't know when. I can't tell you when, but I know that was a big thing. Yeah, Old Town Road was big for a while. It was. Um, like I said, I was in high school when that song came out. What's your favorite music? I listen really. I listen to like all types of music, like pop, hip hop, rap, old school music, um, rock, uh, classic rock, dance music. Yes, I listen to like the EDM music, remix music. I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. I never really the only kind of music that I don't listen to. Well, there's two. The crazy like demonic stuff. I'm not with that. And country music. I've never really been a country music fan. Like there might be like one or two country music songs that I'm like, this is kind of cool, but I've never really been a country music fan. Sean Kingston, yeah, that song, all these beautiful girls, yeah, that song was everywhere. Um, Opera, yeah, I listened to a little bit of opera. Certain songs I listen to have some opera elements into it, so I think it's cool. Yeah, yeah, the screaming rock music, demonic stuff, that's not for me. I don't need people screaming in my ear. It's not for me. Eenie Meenie was in Marmaduke. I remember Marmaduke. It's been a while since I've heard of that movie, but I remember it. What about R&B songs? Okay, so now that's where you get a long list of songs. I can't really tell you a song off jump because I listen to so much R&B music, but I can tell you some artists that I listen to, old and new. Like obviously, like you got your Michael Jackson, you got your Prince, you got your Luther Vandross, you got your Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, New Edition, things of that nature, and then you got your new school. You got Kevin Ross, you got Lucky Day, you got Victoria Monet, you've got her, you've got Anderson .Paak, you've got Kid Cudi, you've got uh, there's a lot of artists that I listen to like old and new. So I don't really have like a I can't really specifically say like old school's better than new school or new school's better than old school because I listen to both equally at the same time. But I will say like old school music does have like a different vibe. Um, it has like a really different vibe to it. It almost feels like a surreal dream in some aspects. And maybe because that's just the nostalgic part of it hitting, but there's like a just like a dreamy feel to it that I like. Yeah, and that might be the reason why, because it's older. What is R&B? R&B is a subgenre in the soul genre. So R&B stands for rhythm and blues. So it's rhythm and blues music, which blues music is not really too much of a popular genre nowadays, but if you've listened to blues music, you know, uh, BB King, he's a blues, very popular blues singer, and it's a mix of that. Like rap. Rap is rhythm and poetry. Like that's pretty much what rap is. It's poetry in the rhythm of music. Yeah, R&B is great. R&B is great. And I know people go with the stigma saying that oh R&B is dead, but R&B's never been dead. And there's a lot of great new R&B artists out there. It's just a lot of them don't get the mainstream success or the mainstream play. And oftentimes that may sound crazy, but sometimes I think it's a good thing because sometimes there's a lot of mainstream artists that I feel like are kind of overplayed. Um, like there's some mainstream artists that you understand, like I understand why this person, but then there's some that I'm like I don't really understand, I don't really understand the point of certain things. Oh my god, my phone is about to die. My phone is literally about to die. Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna try to plug this up and still talk to you guys from here. So let's see. You guys were saying And old Delta blues. I gotta listen to some old Delta blues. If you have any artists, let me know. Let's see. You gotta listen to Counting Stars. I actually do. That's one of the songs on my playlist. Counting Stars. I used to listen to that song heavy in middle school. That and Pompeii, Radioactive. My songs Know What You Did in the Dark, Rude by Magic. Like, yeah, I I was in middle school when a lot of those songs came out, and so like I listened to all of them when they used to come on the radio or they would get played at a school dance or whatever the case. So like, yeah. And the thing about it, like when I was in like middle school and stuff, I was always the kid at the school dances that would always like dance. It just did not matter. I just enjoyed dancing. I just thought it was fun. I was like, you come to a dance for a reason. You don't just sit there and stand on the wall. I mean, obviously, there's some people that just come and chill with their friends, and that's cool. But I mean, if you're at a dance, why not just dance? Live in the moment. Like, live in the moment and just enjoy it. So I was always that kid in middle school. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream because my phone is dying. I literally did not know that my phone was on 15%. But that's how long we've been streaming. And like I said, I've been enjoying the stream. We had a lot of great ideas for the Blade movie. And again, if you guys have more ideas for the Blade movie, definitely let me know. Because I'll add on to the list. And like I said, I'll do a vote. We'll do a vote for next month's rewrite the script, or we got the script. I'm still trying to figure out the correct name. And is there something else? That's I got a Beyond the Spider Verse video plan that's going to be coming out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. If you guys haven't already, definitely check out some of the videos that I've done already. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. Um, and I think I have a Spidey stream that's going to be coming like sometime this weekend or next week. I'm still trying to figure. But yeah, let's see. I'm just trying to look at all the comments. Thanks for the fun. Take care. You too, Professor. Music do you enjoy? All kinds, King Flame. Love the instrumental for that song. Yeah, yeah. Listen to instrumentals for songs too is also great sometimes. Just listening to the songs without the words are just very, very good. Let's see. Take care. Yeah, everybody, take care. Thank you so much for dropping in and everything. And again, as I always say, big love to you all. I should probably say more. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. I hope you guys have a good day, a good week. Whatever you guys are going through, just know you're not alone, and know that you're not alone. And there's always someone out there who understands what you're going through. And let's see, Kenny, you said, "Hey, bro, this is an amazing stream. I'm super glad we had this discussion today. Not only was it fun, but it was very much needed for some of us, and I cannot thank you enough." No, guy, I should honestly be thanking you guys because I needed this. Seriously, I needed this, and I really appreciate you guys always coming in and showing all the love and support. And I hope you guys can continue to stay tuned through this journey that we're all going through, and it's gonna be amazing. Got some amazing future plans ahead, and I'm sure that you guys are going to be just as excited as I am, and to whatever that may be. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much. As I always say, big love to you all, and peace out.